Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field on the campus of the University of Florida in Gainesville, Sunshine Network presents Florida Gator football. Today, the Gators play host to the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Hello, everyone. Along with Nat Moore, I'm Larry Vitale, and welcome to Sunshine Network's continuing coverage of Gator Football 2001. And today, it's an SEC matchup between Florida and Mississippi State. Nat, the Gators come into this 3-0 on the season, but there's no question they're facing their biggest test today with these Bulldogs.
Well, last year the Gators suffered offensively. They weren't able to run the football. They were held to minus 78 yards rushing, and it's very important today that they can get off the football and run the football.
Get the ball moving on the ground, and that means we got to look at what's going on in the trenches with the Florida offensive line making things happen.
Well, whatever you can get movement at the point of attack, we see Mike Pearson here doing a nice job of kicking out, and then that allows those ponies to run. It takes that offensive line opening up holes, forcing the defense to put 6, 7, 8 men in the blocks. And when you can do that, here's what happens. It opens up the play-action pass. Last year, the Gators were able to throw the football very well versus Mississippi State, but they also gave up 7 sacks. The other thing that it does when you run the football, it helps pass protection so that you can go play-action, Larry.
So the Gator offensive line's got a big chore against a strong Mississippi State defensive front. And on the other side of the ball, it's huge as well, because last year, Mississippi State ran all over the Gators for over 350 yards.
Well, they ran and they ran and they ran. But the key is defensive tackles. They've got to get penetration, make plays in the backfield, as we see here with Ian Scott. If you're not getting in the backfield, you got to stuff the line of scrimmage. And whenever you can do that, what happens, Larry, is it allows your linebackers to flow. If you remember last year versus Mississippi State, we had a lot of young linebackers. But right here, what we're seeing is that Gator defensive line against Kentucky creating havoc at the line of scrimmage, allowing the linebackers, Andre Davis, Travis Carroll, Marcus Okendo Johnson to flow and make plays. That's what we've got to get done here today.
So it's Florida and Mississippi State coming up next on Sunshine.
This game is brought to you in part by Checkers. You gotta eat. And by Tico, People's Gas. Run smart and save with energy conservation rebates from People's Gas.
And you got to look at the crowd here in the Swamp. Another sellout. Every game this decade has been sold out. Going back to, I think, game 2 of 1989. We expect 85,000 plus in attendance on an overcast day here in the University City for this matchup between the Florida Gators and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. How about this number for daytime in September? 73 degrees instead of the expected maybe 83 or 88. It is a fairly humid day, but a lot of breeze, a 15 to 25 mile an hour wind, pretty steady at 15, and then you get those gusts from time to time. And as I mentioned, it is overcast. There's a lot of rain to the south of us, but the wind is out of the north-northeast, and therefore that rain's going to stay where it belongs, and we're going to have good weather for today's ball game. Florida head coach Steve Spurrier in his 11th year or 12th year now with the Florida Gators. 3-0 this year, 115-25-1 is his one-loss record in Gainesville, and has been phenomenal against the SEC with an 82-12 conference mark. And Jackie Sherrill, the head coach at Mississippi State. He is in his 11th year in Starkville, 1 year behind Spurrier as the dean of SEC football coaches. Jackie Sherrill overall with 173 coaching victories, but he is 68-49-2 in Starkville. The rivalry between Florida and Mississippi State, before we went east-west in the SEC, this was an annual matchup. As a result, the Gators have played the Bulldogs 49 times. This is number 50, with Florida leading the series both here and in Mississippi. But last year it was Mississippi State winning 47-35 as they ran up and down the field on the Gators, and Florida will do what it can to make sure that doesn't happen here in the Swamp this afternoon. As you probably would expect, this is the first home game since the incidents of September 11th, and a lot of ceremonies before the ball game, and both teams out on the field for the national anthem. But we are ready to switch gears and get ready for football. The Gators deferred after winning the toss. That doesn't happen often. And Matt Petrovich approaches the ball and kicks it high and deep, and will be taken by Pig Prather at the 4. Prather across the 20 and not much further as Marquand Manuel is there to make the stop, along with a lot of his closest and dearest friends, including Larry Kendrick, a freshman linebacker, and there's Petrovich in the middle of it as well. Wayne Madkin is the quarterback for Mississippi State. This is his 36th game as a starting quarterback. He's out of Huntsville, Alabama, the senior. A very good athlete. The scouting report on Madkin is pretty much keep him in the pocket and try to make him throw from there. When he improvises, he makes a lot of big plays. Dante Walker, the lone setback in a 4-wide set. Jumping around, both sides moved. And the right tackle for Mississippi State and the left end for the Gators were both active there as Kennard Ellis jumped, as did Kendrick Fairchild. The starting lineup for today's game is brought to you in part by Cingular Wireless. Cingular, what do you have to say? And the lineup for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, Dante Walker, he's a good one. The question is, what about DeCenzo Miller? He is dressed, but he has a bad ankle. The offensive line is big, very big. 300-plus guys up front, including Kendrick Fairchild, the big right tackle, who got that false start on the just prior to the first snap. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Madkin and the Bulldog offense, and they go from 4 wide to their standard formation in the I, with Walker behind Justin Griffith. Little play action. Madkin with time and then misses badly as he tried to drop it off to Donald Lee, junior tight end. And it'll bring up 2nd down and long for the Bulldogs inside their own 20. The defensive lineup for the Florida Gators. Up front, Kennard Ellis, Ian Scott, Tron LeFevre, and Alex Brown. A couple of seniors on the outside. The linebacking core led by another senior, Andre Davis. What a difference he's made. And the secondary, which has played well, Shepard, Alexander, Manuel, and Johnson. Watch Lito, suffered a groin pull in the Kentucky game and missed some practice this week, although he is in the starting lineup. The Gators in a nickel package on 2nd and long, and they try to run against it, but there's nothing there. Kennard Ellis is in there at the bottom of the pile, and he is fired up. Kennard Ellis waving his arms around. Darrell Lee is also checked in early for the Gator defense.
Well, one of the things we talked about in the opening was to get some movement up front, play in the Mississippi State backfield as we see the defensive line just taking control of the line of scrimmage. Ian Scott not giving ground. Darrell Lee coming across, and then Ellis, Kennard Ellis, coming from his defensive end position to make the tackle in the backfield.
And it's 3rd and long. The ball is at the 18. They have to get across the 32 for a 1st down. Gator defense shifting around. Gators show blitz, and now they don't get the playoff in time. So it'll be 5 more yards, and Andre Davis waves to the crowd. The side judge coming in and throwing the flag. So move it back 5 yards, and that'll put them back at their own 13.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Now they are having trouble with the 25-second clock, Nat, so we may see quite a few delay of game penalties on both sides today. They warn them, and they tell them coming out of the huddle how much time, but they don't have the clock to look at.
And one of the things that's happening right now is that Gator defense is moving around and shifting people and etc. And it's forcing Matkins to try and figure out what coverage they're going to be in.
Well, on 3rd and very long, Madkin sits in the pocket a long time. He's got a wide open man. He dropped the ball. On the crossing route, he had Justin Jenkins close to a 1st down, and Jenkins just dropped it.
Well, one of the things that happened, Larry, whenever you sit back in a zone defense, the more time you give the quarterback, the bigger stretch there becomes, and Justin Jenkins finds a opening, a soft spot in the zone, and this is a catchable ball. Ball hit him right in the numbers, but I think he was trying to run prior to catching the football. Good clean pocket for Wayne Madkin to step up and throw the football. You cannot allow him that kind of time. You got to get some pressure with that 4-man rush.
The Gators bring them all up on the line, and there's a whistle. There was a false start before the snap, I believe, because the line judge blew the play dead. And it may be 5 more, and that might be the 3rd penalty on Mississippi State in their opening possession. Jackie Sherrill's a coach who usually has pretty disciplined clubs. He can't be happy about this start.
Well, anytime you start out by continually hurting yourself, going backwards the way the Bulldogs are here today.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
You see our referee, Steve Shaw.
Steve Shaw doing a great job of explaining exactly what's going on, what the infraction is, but going back to Jackie Sherman being unhappy with that, 3 penalties in the first drive is a tad too much.
Gators trailed throughout the game in Starkville. In fact, the first points came on a safety. No pressure on the kick by Jared Cook. Lito Shepherd waits and fields at the 50. And Lito can't get away from the first man, and he'll end up being dropped at the Florida 49. So a nice job by Cook. A 42-yard kick and -1 on the return for Lito Shepherd. And that will give the Florida Gators outstanding field position to go on offense. 1st and 10, just shy of the midfield stripe as the Gators get their first chance. The Florida Gators will have quarterback Rex Grossman leading them up to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide. They'll split 4 receivers to the right. And a single wide out close to us. That's Jabbar Gaffney on the near side. Now Aaron Walker comes in motion and sets. On the Gators' first play, Grossman with time, waits, fires wide open. There's Gaffney at the 30. Jabbar has it poked loose, but it rolls out of bounds at the 28-yard line. And the Florida Gators pick up 23 on their first snap of the ball game.
Well, the Gators come out, Larry, like you're saying, 5 receivers. They get Aaron Walker out, they motion him back in, and you isolate Gaffney one-on-one on right, and he turns him completely around as Dimitri Grant is not able to hold on. Now, this is where you like to see him put that ball away because the ball gets knocked out. A break for the Gators that it rolls out of bounds.
Because it was just sitting there, and the official on the play was just watching it to see if it would roll out, but it did not. And Florida with the same formation except to the other side on the first down at the 28, and again Walker comes in motion. Blitz is on. Grossman gets away from trouble. Looking downfield, can't find anyone, and now he will throw it out of bounds as he's hit. He had Rashae Caldwell down there. Nice coverage. Mississippi State man on man all over, and they had their guys.
Well, they've got great pressure right up the center, and nice job by Grossman of avoiding the sack, getting outside, and then getting rid of the football. He had nobody open. It was a 2-man route, and there was nobody open downfield, so he wisely threw the ball out of bounds.
Grossman started off this season with 3 consecutive 300-yard games, giving him a total of 1,008, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He did have 1 interception called back against Kentucky. But an outstanding start to the season for the sophomore out of Indiana. Mississippi State shows blitz. The Gators do a pretty good job picking up, and he flips it to Walker. Aaron Walker's got 5. Aaron Walker's got about 8 yards to the 20-yard line, and it'll bring down 3rd down and 2. The Singular Wireless starting lineup. Singular, what do you have to say? And the offensive linemen for the Gators, Graham and Snell in the backfield. We'll see them eventually. Gaffney, Caldwell, Aaron Walker, the receiving core up front. Pearson, Snell's, Dallas, Moody, and Starks left to right. Your starting lineup for the Gators. Now on 3rd and 2. The Gators have their 2 running backs, and they'll run up the middle looking for the first down. Graham finds the first down and a yard or 2 to spare as he gets it down to the 16-yard line before Josh Morgan, the free safety, makes the tackle for the Mississippi State defense.
Good job by Ernest Graham, but recognizing, Larry, that he cannot get outside. It's a stretch play right here. Now watch him square his shoulders up, runs through the would-be tackle of Josh Morgan, falls forward for the first down.
From the 16, the Gators trying to capitalize on great field position, have a first down in distance of the goalposts. Straight ahead, Graham gets a yard. Dorsett Davis, big number 99, along with Jason Clark, number 40, in on the play for Mississippi State. And Graham just barely got back a little more than the line of scrimmage. Officially, they will give him a yard. Up front defensively for State, that 5-man front of Hagan, Davis, Nash, Kelly, and Stevens. Connor Stevens, a very good pass rusher. Those linebackers, they call them dog safeties. They play like outside backers and free safeties in the secondary right. And Banks giving them very good coverage most of the time, but we'll see how good their coverage is against the Florida receiving corps that ranks with any in the country. On 2nd and 9, Grossman hit as he throws, incomplete. There's a flag on the play over on the 16-yard line. Grossman was just getting ready to throw when he was drilled from behind. And we'll find out what the violation is It's either someone's lined up offside or an illegal formation, one of the two.
Yeah, and he gets hit by Khalid Nash as he's trying to release the football.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Didn't see anybody jump, but maybe it was the nose man down there, Khalil Nash, who might have gotten a head start or just lined up wrong. Either way, the Gators get a bit of a break and have second and a long 4 instead of, well, they've only marked it to the 11, so it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 11-yard line. Graham sets up. Grossman throws, incomplete. There's a flag again. That is going to be the 5th penalty on Mississippi State, as Demetric Wright apparently had himself a handful of Jabbar Gaffney.
Well, you know, anytime you get isolated down here, if you're the cornerback, Larry, Demetrius Wright is beat right now inside, and he just reaches out and grabs Gaffney's jersey, and you almost got to do that, because if you don't, it's a touchdown. You know, you hate to get called on that, but you preserve the touchdown. You allow your defense to line up and play again.
Isn't it amazing? We're early in this ball game, and Steve Shaw's already killed the microphone on his batteries. Because we tried to listen in and we couldn't. That is 5 penalties for Mississippi State in the first 3.5 minutes. Unbelievable. 1st and goal for the Florida Gators. Grossman, quick slant through it behind his intended receiver. Jabbar Gaffney couldn't pull it in. And it's 2nd down and goal. Gators obviously feel they can throw on these guys. The Gators last year against Mississippi State threw for 494 yards.
Well, if you are able to throw the ball, you get them in a run, a pass blitzing type of situation, it should open up some holes for the draws and the screens. And, you know, so far we've seen 1 screen pass to the tight end, Larry.
Double tight end, 2 wide receivers, and a back offset as Grossman goes from the shotgun. And there's a false start. Charging in there to get his licks in for
Sean
Mississippi
Birdsong.
State. I'm telling you, Sean Birdsong, he's one of them dog linebacker things. But it'll be a false start on the Gators on the left side.
Well, look, Larry, when you said dog linebackers.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, they are all Bulldogs, but they call in their 8-man front alignment, they have these 2 strong safeties.
Strong safeties.
The left dog and right dog.
Let's not confuse the people now.
Why not?
Strong safeties that they
calling
entitle them
better.
dog.
It's more fun to
linebacker.
call him a dog backer. He's a dog backer as far as I'm concerned. 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Again, they creep up close. Grossman backing up, throws for the corner. Jump ball, and it is caught at the 1-yard line. Tremendous effort from Rashay Caldwell.
Well, Rashay Caldwell just decided that the ball was in the air, and it was his ball as he beats Demetric Wright as well. It's almost like they're picking on Demetric Wright, as you see Pig Prather as well as Sean Birdsong both. No, excuse me, that's Josh Morgan that he beats. But you see that they bring both of those dog linebackers that Larry were talking about. You see Pig Prather in your screen, but a nice job by Grossman of getting rid of the football.
3rd and goal. Gillespie is in for Florida. Grossman on the keeper, spins into the end zone for the touchdown.
Tucking in behind that big offensive line, Shannon Schnell, and Zach Sedalis getting movement right up the front, and he just tucks in, does a little roll. It doesn't go down, and there you see him rolling into the end zone before the knee goes down.
He almost tackled himself, didn't he?
Well, you know, some people are just not used to running quarterback sneaks.
Jeff Chandler, the leading scorer in school history. They're offside. The kick is good. Now we'll see if Florida moved at all. It has been a hanky festival in the first 4 minutes and 55 seconds here in Gainesville. 5 penalties on Mississippi State. And this is their 6th, but it won't count. So the point is good. And the Florida Gators have the early lead as the Gators go 51 yards for a score. 11:05 to go in the first.
Most burger places serve perfectly shaped burgers. Not us. I mean, what's more important? Better geometry or better taste? Go.
cottage cheese, french fries, coleslaw soup, baked beans, chili salad.
Okay.
Dallas, Illich, Snape, Deckel, Pass, Wasilok, Surfignerf, Isik, Eagleduck.
Wow, she really does know her platter choices forward and backwards.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burger. The Florida High School Gridiron Report will catch you up. Hosted by Sean Elvishire, this weekly show will bring you highlights of the top 5A and 6A football teams and update you on all divisions. The Florida High School Gridiron Report, Thursdays at 5:30 on Sunshine.
Run smart and save with People's Gas, a TECO energy company.
You pick up a new Dodge, we'll pick up the interest. Now get zero interest financing on almost every new 2002 Dodge car and truck. And if you come in now, you can take advantage of no payments for 90 days. See your Dodge dealer today. Dodge, grab life by the horns.
Today's game is brought to you in part by First Union, your guide to the financial world. By Dodge, grab life by the horns. And by Dairy Farmers Incorporated. Got milk?
Petrovic kicks off for the second time, a high hanger. Comes down to Prather at the 8. Big Prather spins off a tackler at the 20, and down he goes at the 21 or 22-yard line. And there's Petrovic and Daryl Dixon right in the middle of things. He's my favorite kickoff guy in school history. He's great.
Well, he does believe in going down and mixing it up. There's another look at the touchdown as Rex Grossman just continued to keep his feet moving as he's spinning into the end zone for that touchdown. Got great blocking on that left side by Mike Pearson, Shannon Schnell, and Zach Zadalis.
From the 22-yard line, State's got Griffith and Dante Walker in the backfield. And again, they run play action. Matkin looking deep for his man, and it is incomplete. Trying to get it to Ray Bivens, and Lito Shepard was with him.
Well, Ray had a step or two on Lito Shepard. A little play action. When you run the ball the way they did last year, you pull everybody up. And right there, Ray Bivens is wide open as Lito Shepard stumbles, but the ball is just slightly overthrown by Matkins.
3 wide receivers on second down. Mississippi State, which ran all over the Gators, has been pass happy so far in this ball game. Alex Brown moving, was offside. That's a fumble. It won't count unless they move Gus Scott into the end zone, but the line judge had Alex Brown moving before the snap.
Well, I think you're right, Larry. Mississippi State catches a break here. Gators caught quite a few breaks in the last 2 series, but this time this is going to come back to haunt the Gators. As you see right there at the right side of your screen, Alex Brown trying to get off on the ball. Gets pulled offside.
On the defense.
Ball is not handled by Walker. Gus Scott picks it up.
Repeat second down.
Runs it in for a touchdown, but all for naught.
Boy, you hate to give up big plays like that. Just jumping ahead of the snap count, but that's what happened. The ball will be at the 27. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Mississippi State. 10:42 to go, and as we said, we've seen a lot of flags already. 2nd marked off against the Gators, 5 against the Bulldogs, plus 1 that was negated on the extra point. Now the Gator defense digs in again on 2nd down. There's the running game. Dante Walker runs into Gus Scott, powers ahead, very close to first down yardage. Dante Walker, a junior from Clinton, Mississippi, which is, I believe, the home of former Gator quarterback Kyle Morris from Clinton, Mississippi.
There you see just a little isolation play. Good job by Gus Scott of filling the hole. There you see Alex Brown coming off his block, getting back into the play. You know, the one thing that this offensive line will do, Larry, they'll come up, they'll take big splits, try and split that defense out, and give Dante Walker a two-way go with an isolation block by the fullback, Griffin.
So they're going to measure, and he's got it by almost the full length of the football. And it'll be a first down for Mississippi State. 7-0 Florida. We've played less than 5 minutes of this opening quarter. Matkin looks over the Florida defense, fumbles the snap, falls on it, will lose about a yard.
We've seen the Gator quarterbacks have a problem with the center quarterback exchange, and here you see right here, Matkin actually sits in there, and the center doesn't get the football up as he's trying to get off on the snap and get his block against Ian Scott, instead of sitting in there making sure that the ball comes up and in the hands of Matkin.
Tommy Watson, the senior center for Mississippi State, and now Bulldogs have someone shaken up. Matkin might have lost a lens or something. At any rate, are they going to use a timeout or bring in a quarterback? We don't know yet. Their backup quarterback is Kevin Fant, and he's nowhere to be found. There he goes. And he'll come in, and I think if you wanted to wager on a running play right now, you'd be pretty safe.
Well,
although who knows, maybe they're going to fool you. This might whole be a decoy thing. Shotgun for the guy coming right off the bench. His only pass this year was intercepted. Throws a wide out screen, incomplete. And a late flag comes in from way away from the play. And we'll see what the heck that is.
Well, if nothing else, we can already say we've got a very active crew in the officiating.
They think they're getting paid by the hanky. That's just odd. That flag is 15 yards away from the play. Oh, he was calling an offense. He was going to call offensive interference on a Mississippi State receiver, but since the ball did not cross the line of scrimmage in the air, you're allowed to block downfield. So there you go. Ray Bivens was the guy who couldn't find the handle. Walker and Griffith line up. Parker splits out to the left side, and Fant remains in the ball game for Mississippi State on 3rd and 11. Gators bring a lot of guy up. The left guard moved for the Bulldogs. And it'll be 5 more on State. Florida crept in there, Andre Davis, as if to blitz, and the left guard went for it.
Well, this is one of those times where the left guard going for it might have saved a quarterback sack, because John Hoke had Mike Natil coming on a blitz, and he came clean. Came clean on the quarterback. You know, just a little misdirection by that Gator defense trying to disguise, and you'll see Mike Natil coming on the blitz. You know, John Hoke has done a great job this year of putting players in position.
Wow, they're calling it on Florida, saying he violated the line of scrimmage when he bluffed the blitz. Now if you go into if you cross the line and the guy moves while you're over there, it is now a defensive penalty. Didn't used to be, but I don't think he came close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he didn't cross the line of scrimmage. He just faked at him, and I guess they are saying that you can't do that.
Illegal bluffing.
You can't fake.
Okay. On 3rd down. They got him coming clean again. Blitz. They throw the screen to Griffith, but Mike Natil's right there. And then he gets some help putting him away. The Gators blitzed. Fant threw it in a hurry, but Natil stayed home to cover the screen.
Well, anytime you come with a blitz, Larry, what you've got is man-to-man coverage. And Mike Natil, you know, had the fullback, Justin Griffith. That's his guy. So all he's doing is mirroring him. Got good pressure there. You see Marquand Emanuel coming on the blitz, but Mike Natil is right in the center of things and makes the tackle.
So Jared Cook back to punt again for Mississippi State. And Kewan Ratliff has replaced Lito Shepard as the deep return man for Florida. Oh boy, Cook had to double clutch because he muffed the snap a little bit. The end result didn't matter much. Ratliff picks it up and takes off with it. Kewan Ratliff. He's got some yards, dropped the ball. And Mississippi State has recovered at the Florida 25-yard line. It's the second game in a row Ratliff has left one on the ground.
Well, this time Ratliff is running with the football and never puts it away, Larry. You know, wise move on his part, trying to save the Gators some yards by going ahead and catching the football. But just a double error right here. There's got to be somebody responsible to make the kicker kick the football, as the rusher just runs right by him. And right here, ball's not tucked away. See how it's out in his hand? It's actually just hits his leg and comes out. I don't even think he got it swiped out.
No, I think it was out before the coverage man swiped at it. Ivan Billy got the recovery, and Wayne Matkin is back in for Mississippi State at the Gator 25. Matkin throws deep, and there's a kind of a bump around the 10-yard line, but the ball would have been overthrown by about 15 or so, so it falls incomplete. Alex Brown a stride shy of getting to Matkin with the pressure on the left side of the defensive front for the Florida Gators. So the Gators backed up. They've done this to themselves against Monroe and Kentucky early in both of those games with a turnover at their end of the field, and now for the third game in a row they've done it here against Mississippi State.
And you're continually doing this on special teams, Larry.
They run the draw. Dante Walker maybe a yard or two. That's about it. Todd Johnson gets in on the pile for the Florida Gator defense. Johnson had 19 tackles in last year's game against Mississippi State, and that's never a good thing.
Well, especially when you're making the tackles 10, 12 yards downfield. Unlike the last play where you're making the tackle at the line of scrimmage. One of the things that Hoke want to do is walk up his safeties, the strong safety and his weak safety, get them in as additional linebackers close to the line of scrimmage.
Gators on 3rd down and 9 defensively. Matkin sets up, flushed out of the pocket, and he'll be dropped. So the Gator pressure gets to Wayne Matkin. Alex Brown got a part of it along with Darrell Lee. And that may knock him out of field goal range, where John Michael Marlin does not have the strongest of legs, although Marlin is coming in.
Good pressure. Matkins get back. He thinks he's got a clean pocket. There you see a little pressure as Ian Scott forces him to step up. And then Darrell Lee, Alex Brown, as well as Kennard Ellis, all in there to bring him down.
Thanks for bringing up Ellis. There's a terrible kick, my word. Didn't reach the goal line on a fly, and the Florida defense holds again.
And good pressure up the center of that line of scrimmage. You know, the kicker comes in, he's getting ready to kick the football, and if he takes a peek, he sees all that pressure in the backfield, and an errant kick.
6:53 to play in the first. The Gators up 7-zip with the ball.
Here's the situation. Mother-in-law won't eat spicy. Father-in-law's got cholesterol issues. Aunt Frances has problems with Italian. And Uncle Fred is starving and, quote, lightheaded. We know nothing about Cleveland. We're here for a wedding, which may become a funeral if poor Uncle Fred doesn't eat soon. But with AT&T Wireless, in like 2 minutes, I'm holding in the palm of my hand the name and address of a respectable chicken joint. And it looks like Uncle Fred's gonna live to see the wedding after all.
AT&T Wireless. Your world close at hand.
What if you put the best SUVs in the world all in one place? Let's see, you'd have the Toyota RAV4, Toyota Highlander, Toyota Sequoia, and the king of rugged, Toyota 4Runner. Proving it responds to the call of the wild and the call for safety, the 4Runner received the highest possible ranking in government side impact crash tests. And now 4Runner also comes with added protection for your wallet. $1,500 cash back. The Toyota 4Runner at your Toyota dealer.
Having just one way to express yourself can be frustrating. That's why Cingular Wireless offers a range of airtime options. Choose 2 and create your own plan. Sign up now and get a deal on a cool Nokia. Cingular Wireless. What do you have to say?
This game is brought to you in part by Wireless from AT&T. Your world close at hand. by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling. And by Shands Healthcare. Visit shands.org, your leading health information resource.
A great idea to help support the tragedy that happened in New York City and also in Washington, D.C. is to buy one of these t-shirts. Patriotic Gator t-shirt, $10 for the t-shirt. All proceeds go to the Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. As you can see, it says, in all kinds of weather, we all stick together. So the Gators, the United States, all sticking together. It's a good cause. Even looks good on me. Larry and Nat, you better get yours soon.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. Nice rock he's wearing, too. One of the championship ring things on. That is a nice shirt and a great gesture by UF, and hopefully a lot of people got their shirts today. It appears there are a lot of people wearing them in the stands. Grossman waits, now fires for Caldwell, and Richey pulls it in at the 42 of the Bulldogs.
And Larry, let me tell you how good the pass protection was on that play. You know, when Rex Grossman goes back, he's looking out to his left. He's looking for his favorite target, Gaffney. But Gaffney is covered. Then he's able to step back and find Richey Caldwell going through the middle of the field. Great blocking by that offensive line, and the backs picking up would-be blitzers.
So the Gators on the move again, just their second offensive chance. They went in and scored, and then after the defense got the stop, the fumbled punt return gave it back to Mississippi State. Grossman, good time, throws, he's got his man again, that's Richey. Richey Caldwell at the 15 is dropped at the 14-yard line. Couldn't lose his man, otherwise that would have been 6, but Pick Prather held on.
Well, Pick Prather is a preseason All-American pick. Good blocking by Robin Gillespie as you see a clean pocket. And there you see, there's just no match. Richey Caldwell running a route on a guy that makes a living blitzing. I'm giving my vote to the receiver, Richey Caldwell. What do you say?
That's a pig of a defense if you're going to have Prather trying to cover Caldwell. First down at the 14. The Gators up 7-0, looking for more. Remember, Florida had a defensive touchdown called back for an offside violation. Grossman under pressure, sandwiched and dropped at the 21. Coming in quickly off the corner, that was Sean Birdsong, one of the dog safeties.
Well, anytime you get down inside the green zone, or the red zone as it's called, you know you're going to get some pressure from one of those linebackers. Last play you had Pick Prather in coverage. This time they bring Birdsong from the other side. Grossman recognizes it, as you see both safeties are there, but there's just no way to get away. It's a man that was unaccounted for.
And Florida, did they use a time or did they get the substitution violation first? We'll have to wait and see. Timeout Florida with 5:23 to play here in the opening quarter. The Gators knocking on the door, up 7-0 in the Swamp.
Why do we call them steak burgers? Because we can. This is what our original steak burger looked like in 1934. Who says they don't make them like they used to? Why do we slice our pickles the long way? Why do we slice our pickles the long way?
Steak 'n Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Are you struggling to hear on your cell phone? Then try the internal antenna. Simply place under your battery and presto. It's like adding a 4-foot antenna to your phone. You'll be able to hear in buildings, hallways, even drive in tunnels with better reception and less static. Watch, we put it to the ultimate test in an elevator. The ordinary phone doesn't work, but the internal antenna cell phone works. The sound is perfectly clear. Amazing. Best of all, it works on any mobile phone.
Before I used to get static, but now with the internal antenna, the calls are perfectly clear.
No more static or dropped calls. Competitive products cost $29.95. But now on this exclusive TV offer, you get the internal antenna for only $19.99. But wait, call within the next 10 minutes and get the Wave Scrambler, a $20 value free. Filters out 99% of electromagnetic waves, making it safe to talk on the phone. Imagine the internal antenna and the Wave Scramblers, a $50 value, all for only $19.99. Not available in stores. Order today.
For all the latest on what's going on with your Florida Gators, go to The Zone. Get in GatorZone.com, the official website of the Florida Gators. And remember, you can order all your officially licensed Gator Sports Shop merchandise at Gator Zone, including those commemorative shirts in support of those who lost their lives and those who were left behind from the tragedy in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. Those shirts are available at Gator Zone as well. Well, Nat, the Florida Gators second and long outside the 20-yard line as they try to add to a 7-0 lead.
And this is where you got to be careful with the football. You don't want to do anything to give the football away, and you want to try and come out of here with some points.
Bulldogs coming with big numbers. They swing it out to Gillespie, too strong. And there are plenty of Bulldogs there anyway because they had Sean Birdsong and Mario Hagan dogging the play anyhow, and it's third and long for the Gators.
But watch Sean Birdsong. If you look down to the right side of your screen, he was actually, Larry, coming on a blitz and saw Gillespie coming out and peeled off and got into coverage and forced Rex Grossman to throw this errant pass as he threw it away.
Let's see what the Gators run on a third down, and they need about 16 from outside the 20-yard line. Looks like they may do a little maximum protect and just send one or two guys out in the route. Try to give Grossman time to throw. Good protection. Grossman sets up the little delay to Caldwell. There's Richey at the 10. Caldwell, touchdown!
And Larry, tell me how many times have we seen it this year whenever the Gators bring those receivers all in close, you have a crossing route that pulls everybody out of there, and eventually somebody comes back in the open air. Now look how close Richey Caldwell is. Little fake block now. Watch him come underneath, and there's just nobody there. Jabbar Gaffney's cleared everything out on that side, and there's no way that Josh Morgan can get there before Richey Caldwell gets into the end zone.
The fourth touchdown of the season for Richey Caldwell. And the 12th of his Gator career. His fourth catch of the day has given the Florida Gators a 14-0 lead.
You gotta eat. What are you doing? You gotta eat. Say, who do you think you are? You won't get far.
Come on, do the chicken at Checkers. Right now, you can get all kinds of great all-white meat chicken at great prices. Checkers Big Chicken or Spicy Chicken Sandwich now just 99 cents. Screamin' Chicken Snack Pack only $1.99. You gotta eat, so do the chicken right now at Checkers.
You gotta eat.
For the best coverage of sports throughout the Sunshine State, tune in to Nextel Florida Sports News, weeknights at 10 o'clock right here on Sunshine Network. Get past all the national stuff and focus on in-depth coverage of the teams throughout the state of Florida with reporters in every key city, analysis, stats, highlights, interviews, stuff you don't get anywhere else. You'll get it on Nextel Florida Sports News, weeknights at 10 right here on Sunshine Network. Well, they had a shirt big enough for Albert, so that's a good sign for me after the game. Richey Caldwell, 4 catches already. He's been the guy early.
72 yards. The Gators are able to march down in 5 plays and put some points on the board.
And Petrovich puts it out of the end zone as we take another look at the little drag from the right side out of Caldwell.
And watch the little subtle thing as you look at the top of your screen. You'll see Richey Caldwell coming across. What he did, he rubbed his man off on Aaron Walker, and of course Jabbar Gaffney cleared out. Easy touchdown pass. Good call by the head ball coach.
Rex Grossman has thrown 11 touchdown passes already this year.
Well, show you how much I know about football, and I don't know why I'm up here, because so far we have not ran the football.
Well, but the offensive line still has to play well. Mississippi State at the 20 now, down 2 touchdowns. They were up 13-0 over the Gators in Starkville last year. They go Griffith inside, and Griffith gets to meet most of the inside of the Florida defense, including Tron Lefevre.
Tron Lefevre, Bobby McCray, all in on the stop, just creating a pile right there at the line of scrimmage. And that doesn't allow Walker to cut back. There are no lanes for him. Last year when they were running for big yardage, there were big holes. Here you see no holes. You see guys just giving up their body to create a pile at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, Leon Scott does a great job of that, doesn't he?
Yes, he
really
does.
gets himself in there and takes care of business. Little wide out pass, and there he is, dropped right at the 16-yard line. Loose ball. Fight for it at the 16. State got it back, but M&M, Marquand Manuel, busted up that play.
Great job by Marquand Manuel of reading the play, seeing the throw of the football, and reacting up, avoiding the block, and just shaking it loose from the receiver. Good pressure. Now watch Marquand Manuel avoid the block, comes up, and really takes on the receiver, number 85, and just knocks the ball out. Harold Lindsey.
I don't think Lindsey ever really had it, but they'll count it as a catch and a loss of 4 yards back to the 16. Gators show a 3-man rush on 3rd and long. Madkin under pressure from Brown, throws behind his man, and it's incomplete. Breaking open was Lindsey, shy of the first down anyway, but even with a 3-man rush, Alex got some pressure on to mess up the play.
Good one-on-one move by Alex. They're expecting Alex because he lacks that speed rush. He starts upfield, and he's going against Fairchild, comes back underneath, and this ball is errantly thrown because he throws it before he wants to, as Alex Brown gets pressure in the backfield.
And if Lindsey doesn't get a hand on that, that was going right into the hands of Lito Shepherd. Lito is back again to receive the punt at midfield. Low driving kick. Shepherd's got it at the 43. Lito Shepherd can't break it to the outside, goes back where he started, all kinds of room. Lito Shepherd needs one block, gets it late, and will be dragged down around the 30-yard line. Great effort from Jared Cook, kept Lito Shepherd from going all the way.
Well, when I saw the amount of blue shirts that were in the wall, and only Jared Cook, the punter, I tell you what, right here, you figure that somebody's got to take him out, and Cook is able to avoid the block and force Lito Shepherd out of bounds.
But still, for Lito Shepherd, a pretty nice effort as he got a 28-yard return. John Hoke, the defensive coordinator, says, now you take care of that groin muscle, son. Punt returns are fine, but we need you playing corner. Grossman sets up, plenty of time, goes for the corner to Jabbar Gaffney at the 6. Jabbar Gaffney stepped out of bounds at the 3.
Well, he stepped out of bounds. The official was right on it, but what an effort by
and I was so ready.
I'm trying to get into the end zone. Another job, nice job of running a corner route. Good clean pocket by that offensive line. Great protection. Now watch when he catches the ball. Quick turn, and he dives for the end zone. But the officials say the right foot stepped out. There's another look at it.
Well, that right foot might not quite have gotten the white as judged, but that's okay. 1st and goal at the 3. Gillespie through traffic, still fighting ahead inside the 1, and then he's driven back, but he got 2 of the 3 yards that the Florida Gators needed on that play.
Well, the one thing down here with the way that Joe Lee Dunn runs his defense with those safeties coming off the corner, you know, it cannot be a very slow developing play because Birchstone was in the backfield, but the play happened so quick he wasn't able to get to Gillespie before he picked up the 2 yards, Larry.
On 2nd and goal, Gillespie again bounces outside, and he's going to be dropped at the 5. So the Gators trying to run it have lost. First they gain 2, then they lose 4, and it's 3rd and goal at the 5-yard line.
Richard Ball not allowing Gillespie to bounce it outside. You know, you're trying to run it to the right side, and there you see there's just a good job by Haggins of just creating havoc right there, not allowing the Gators to get outside, and then Richard Ball making the tackle on Robert Gillespie.
No 20. They've got the 25-second clock running, which is good because Florida broke the huddle with 10 on the play clock. Grossman can now go up and reference it. A little slow getting the play in. On 3rd and goal, Rex Grossman looking for the corner. He throws. Aaron Walker's got a touchdown.
It worked once. Just run it again. But this time, the big tight end gets to run the play. Last play, he was the shield guy, giving Rashae Caldwell a little room there. He gets tripped coming off the ball, but he gets up, keeps on moving. Nice job by Rex Grossman of waiting for him to clear as he gets the ball to him before Corey Banks can get there.
First touchdown of the season for Aaron Walker, his 4th Gator touchdown. And with 1:54 to play in the opening quarter, well, we got flags. They moved, Florida moved. We'd gone almost 4 snaps without a flag. I mean,
you think?
You can't ask for much more than that. At least not today, because you won't get it. Both sides are pointing at the other. And now we'll find out if it's going to be a 19 or a 25-yard extra point. The Gators got the movement. Now, the nice thing is there have been no major penalties. I guess the biggest one was a defensive hold against Mississippi State. Most everything else has been the 5-yarder. And now a 25-yard extra point for Jeff Chandler. And Chandler is 3 out of 3. And a late flag comes in as well after the play. We'll see what happens. Grossman with the big play of this drive to Jabbar Gaffney after the punt return by Lito Shepherd set the Gators up. That didn't count as a score, but they ended up with a score anyway. The flag was on Mississippi State. The point counts.
Come on, just one more game. All right, my bike for the rest of your money and your honey. Rack. Hey, where'd you learn how to play like that?
At home. Get a billiard table for your home at the lowest price from Recreational Factory Warehouse.
Well, folks, it's just about time for another great year of Gator basketball. Midnight Madness, Friday night, October 12th in the O'Connell Center. It'll start off with an SEC volleyball match, Florida and Ole Miss at 9 o'clock, and then all the hoops hysteria as Billy Donovan and Carol Ross's team get ready to start another great year of basketball in Gator country. That's Midnight Madness, Friday, October 12th, starting with volleyball at 9 o'clock. And Nat, they're going to have to get by without us because we will be getting ready for Florida and Auburn. Petrovich kicks off, and it's going to be taken by the Pig. Prather at the 15 has a little running room and a nice tackle from behind. Just before he's about to get it going, Johnny Lamar made the tackle and dropped Prather at the 26. Let's check in with our man on the field, Steve Babick. Steve?
What a great start for Rex Grossman, composure-wise. Think back to the offensive series when they double blitzed. He took the sack, didn't try to force anything, protected the ball with 2 hands, went to the next play. He also is very patient on the pass routes. That tight end drag, you've got to wait, you've got to wait, you've got to wait. He lets Aaron Walker clear out, then makes the throw. Very good start for Rex Grossman.
Grossman with a couple of touchdowns, about 150 yards through the air. He has gone over 3,000 career passing yards. Busted play, Matkin grounds it. Wayne Matkin just grounded it as he was about to get buried by Kennard Ellis, and that'll end up being a loss of, about 12 yards or so on the play.
And the question is, Larry, for Kennard Ellis's sake, do I still get credit with the sack? Because he's got him dead to rights. He's not fooled at all right there. And Matkin just throws the football into the ground, and the referee is right on top of it. Good job by Ellis of not going for the play action.
It's kind of bad. There's no yardage added on. You just get what you would have got anyway, which is a 9-yard loss. But you're right, Kennard Ellis may not officially get credit for that sack, but he sure deserved one. That was supposed to be a running play, and the running back for Matkin took off. Second down, 19. The Gator defense tries to put some pressure on. Matkin throws incomplete. He has some opportunities to his receivers. That time the tight end Donald Lee, but not a lot of margin for error in the passing game for the Bulldogs.
And John Hoke has done such a good job of mixing it up. 1 minute you come with the blitz, next minute you bring with 4 guys, then you go 3-man. You know, Gators are getting good pass drops and then reacting to the football, as we see Andre Davis from his linebacker position making the play. There's a good look at John Hoke. Got this defense playing great football here today.
Mississippi State yet to convert on a 3rd down opportunity. This is 3rd and long. They've got to get to the 36 for a 1st down. Matkin under pressure throws. He's got his tight end, but Lee is dropped right there. Excellent coverage from Daryl Dixon, who has had a good start to this season. Really like the way Daryl's raised his level of play back to where he was very good late in his freshman year.
Well, Daryl had some problems last year, had a bad shoulder, and he wasn't doing a good job of tackling. Here you see, as you get good pressure once again from Alex Brown. Daryl Dixon coming up, locking up, making sure of the tackle as he brings Lee down right there for a short gain.
So the Gators have held him once again. And the busiest man in America, Jared Cook, punts for Mississippi State. Shepard at the 33, can't split the defenders. He'll get about 6 or 7 though, as he fights his way forward. And the Gators will once again have great field position. That's the one thing, Nat, they started off at their own 49. Then the next time they had to go 70 yards, which is still not bad field position. The next time they only had to go 29 yards for a drive. And here they've got the ball up across the 40 again.
Well, 2 reasons, Larry. One, on special teams kickoff coverage, good job by Petrovic of kicking the ball high, allowing special teams to get down there and pin them back, and then great defense, 3 and out, forcing them to kick the football into the wind.
So Florida goes on offense again. They may call a running play here. How about that? Ernest Graham's got 10. Ernest straight ahead for a dozen. Big Prather, Demetric Wright in there defensively for Mississippi State.
Well, Mississippi State comes with a 4-man front, don't have 6 or 7 in the block. Grossman gives the ball to Graham. He picks up 12, 13 yards on a nice run right up the gut.
Florida Gators already up 21-0, and still only 37 seconds remain in the first quarter. So if they hit a big play here, they could have a 4-touchdown opening quarter against Mississippi State, which is, well, 21 points is most impressive. So just add whatever, 7 more would make it. Graham busts it outside. Ernest has about 5 before he's ridden down by the Mississippi State defense. Mario Hagan playing defensive end this year. He was a linebacker last year and a Butkus Award candidate, but he's gone down to defensive end. But the way they play their ends, up, down, all over, I think you might as well consider him a linebacker.
And he showed some linebacker ability there as Graham busts it back outside, and then he was able to reverse his direction and then turn on the speed to make the tackle for only a 5-yard gain.
And that play will be the final play in the opening quarter of this SEC football matchup here on Sunshine Network. As we bring it to you from the Swamp in Gainesville, the Gators, very impressive.
So, how's the food here?
Great, Mom. Pizza every day.
That's what I was afraid of.
Oh, it's not what you had in college, Mom. It's Papa John's.
But you need variety.
Variety? I get it with Papa John's thin or original crust, great fresh veggies, and 100% meat toppings.
And right now, a large 2-topping Papa John's pizza is only $9.99. Plus, a second large 2-topping pizza is just $4.99.
I'm living better than I ever did at home.
What kind of a company are we? We're a company of 70,000 people. People with families and children, hopes and expectations. We're a community with a shared conviction that if we can just make others' lives better and easier and more prosperous and secure, then our lives will be better too. We're First Union, and that's the kind of company we are.
They come armed with insight, knowledge, compassion, and experience. They come with a unified vision and a purpose to win. By treating more cancer patients than any other hospital in the state, Florida Hospital's team of cancer specialists, surgeons, nurses, and technicians have not only earned the respect to be called leaders, but heroes. Florida Hospital, the skill to heal, the spirit to care.
This game is brought to you in part by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. By Napa Auto Parts. Best parts, best service, best price. And by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Well, the Gators most impressive so far this afternoon against Mississippi State. Obviously a long way to go as we begin the second quarter. The Gators leading 21-0, and they have the ball 2nd down and 5 inside the Mississippi State 43-yard line for head coach Steve Spurrier. His team off to a great start this year offensively and continuing it so far today. Gillespie split out to the right, sets 3 wide. Now the tight end Walker's not sure what's going to happen next. 2 seconds on the clock. They do get it off. Grossman in trouble, fires through traffic, and it's incomplete. A break for Florida. There were 3 Bulldogs, and Taylor Jacobs tried to get a piece of it, but it falls incomplete.
Good job by Taylor Jacobs of coming back to try and meet the football and not allowing the Bulldogs to come up with the interception. Good pressure up front by Dorset Davis coming from his left tackle position, forcing Rex Grossman to throw the football before he wanted to.
Well, that play looked like a family trying to pack the car. You know, nobody knew who was supposed to put the suitcases in or where did the pillows go. Just nothing much happened good for the Gators on that play. On third down, Grossman looks for the quick out to Gaffney. Jabbar's got it at the 33. He's got a first down. It was just Gaffney against Demetric Wright, and Gaffney won that one.
Well, I think that any time you come up to the line of scrimmage and you see blitz and you got Demetric Wright trying to cover Jabbar Gaffney, your best receiver, you got to take advantage of this here. You know, this is not a great pass or a great route. It's just Demetric Wright, I'm beat. I'm beat at the line of scrimmage. I'm scared. And there you see Grossman just throws it up for grabs because he has confidence Jabbar's going to go up and take it away from him.
The only thing that was great is a great decision. Get the 5 yards and get the first down. No need to be greedy. Grossman made the play. Now Grossman's thinking a little more greedy. Instead, he'll just throw it out of bounds over the head of Aaron Walker. As the Gators couldn't get anybody open against the Bulldogs secondary, it'll be 2nd down and 10. Coming into this ball game, the Florida Gators lead the SEC and are 2nd in the nation, averaging 49 points per game, and number 1 in the nation, passing for 420 yards per game.
In other words, they throw it pretty good.
Yeah, real good.
Real good.
And they would, people watching would not know that if I hadn't just pointed it out. They're all saying, "Oh, Lair, thanks." A master of the obvious. 2nd down at the 32. And again, only a second left on the play clock. There's a flag on the play. So I don't think the fumble will count. I think Florida false started before the snap. And it'll be 5 more. We'll see how the officials sort it out. But the referee threw a flag, and when he does that at the snap, nothing's going to count.
And what's happening, Larry, is that Rex Grossman.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's getting up to the line of scrimmage with 3-4 seconds left on the clock to get the ball in play, and just not having time to get in there and take the snap properly.
Now the Gators line up with 4 wide receivers and Gillespie behind Grossman, a 3-man rush for the Bulldogs. Grossman in trouble, and he gets away from some of it. Still running. Rex Grossman gets away from some more trouble. Gets a peel back block. There is a flag on the play. And he tried to flip it to Gaffney and almost got it picked off by Connor Stevens. But I think the family just tried to pack the car again.
Unsuccessfully.
Gators are holding on a forward pass, and the holding actually took place about 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. There was a forward pass, but the pass didn't cross the line of scrimmage, so I think right now they're going to have to get out the rule book and say, okay, how exactly do we mark this thing off? Steve Shaw talking with Pig Prather.
Block in the back on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
So they'll move them back. The Gators were on borderline field goal range. Now they're out of field goal range. So a block in the back on a pass play. When's you've ever seen that before?
Well, when you got the quarterback scrambling around back there in the backfield, and you got those big uglies trying to get back and give him some help peeling back, you know, anything is possible. But the offensive line is told, whatever you do, protect the quarterback.
And the Gators break the huddle. They've got less than 10 seconds to get the play off again for Rex Grossman. On the 2nd down, they have to get inside the 23 for a first down. And they're going to take a delay of game. It's amazing. This series for the Florida Gators has just been one disaster. No, not a disaster, but just one mistake after another.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And it all starts with the quarterback, Larry, because right now Rex Grossman is not very sharp. I mean, you've got to come out of the huddle and know that the first thing you do is look at the play clock and see how much time you got to get the ball snapped.
And the Gators get out of the huddle a little earlier this time, and now they've got guys in tight. They may run that drag play one more time, go to the well again and see if there's anything there. Grossman has it to Gaffney. Jabbar, not much running room, and he'll be dropped. Hit hard and dropped after about a 4-yard gain. And that'll bring up 3rd down and extremely long. They need about 25 yards as we go inside 14 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter. Seems like the 2nd quarter's been going for a while, but only 1 minute has run off the clock.
All right, as long as you continually have penalties that stop play, it will seem like it's been running forever.
We'll see if the Gators try something in between to get in field goal range for Chandler, or if they're going to go for the whole ball of wax. Big pressure for Grossman. He throws it up for grabs and nowhere near anybody. And that'll be called grounding on Grossman back at his own 37. And after 3 straight possessions led to touchdowns, the worst possession of the season for the Florida Gators comes to a close back at their own 38, where it will be 4th down and 60. Excuse me, I'm exaggerating. 4th and 40.
Oh, well, this reminds you a little bit of last year.
Ground on the offense. Lost it down with the spot of foul.
Gator fans booing that.
And there you see a frustrated Steve Spurrier, knowing that when you come up to the line of scrimmage as a quarterback, the first thing you got to look out there and see who's the most dangerous potential blitzer. And that time Grossman did not do that, and he didn't check into something that could pick up the blitz.
So Florida sends 2 gunners to the left on this punt formation. Mississippi State not much pressure on Leach, and Matt Leach gets a pretty good kickoff. Signaled for and taken at the 28. He signaled fair catch. There should be a flag for delay of game on Mississippi State, because the return man signaled fair catch and then kept running. And that's usually a 5-yard delay of game, but I think they're so tired of reaching for their hankies, they're not gonna.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They've thrown so many flags that they're just tired.
Ray Bivens, I signaled for a fair catch, sorta, but not really, but whatever. 21-0, still the score.
Having just one way to express yourself can be frustrating. That's why Cingular Wireless offers a range of airtime options. Choose 2 and create your own plan. Sign up now and get a deal on a cool Nokia. Cingular Wireless. What do you have to say?
Are you struggling to hear on your cell phone? Then try the internal antenna. Simply place under your battery and presto. It's like adding a 4-foot antenna to your phone. You'll be able to hear in buildings, hallways, even drive-in tunnels with better reception and less static. Watch, we put it to the ultimate test in an elevator. The ordinary phone doesn't work, but the internal antenna cell phone works. The sound is perfectly clear. Amazing. Best of all, it works on any mobile phone.
Before I used to get static, but now with the internal antenna, the calls are perfectly clear.
No more static or dropped calls. Competitive products cost $29.95. But now on this exclusive TV offer, you get the internal antenna for only $19.99. But wait, call within the next 10 minutes and get the Wave Scrambler, a $20 value, free. Filters out 99% of electromagnetic waves, making it safe to talk on the phone. Imagine the internal antenna and the Wave Scramblers, a $50 value, all for only $19.99. Not available in stores. Order today.
Let's go.
If you've ever wondered what really goes on at the Jags training camp, then get ready. We'll take you on a day in the life from Coach Coughlin's point of view. Camp Coughlin, behind the scenes. Saturday at 7:30 on Sunshine.
Kids 8th grade and under, you're invited to sign up now for the Gator Kids Club. You'll get an official t-shirt, membership card, and all kinds of insider benefits. It's just $19. So check out the Gator Kids Club by calling 1-800-34-GATOR. Well, a strange possession for the Florida Gators. They began the second half, 2nd and 5, and it ended up 4th and 40 as Coach Steve Spurrier talks with Rex Grossman. They had delay of games and false starts and intentional grounding, etc.
And sometimes that's good. It happens early because, you get off to a big lead, you get a little complacent, and then you stop taking care of the little things as we saw them do on that last drive. So hopefully they'll get those corrections made on the sideline here.
Mississippi State, a little delayed handoff to Walker's got a little running room. And Dante Walker picks up 5 yards, which makes it their second best first down play of the day. They now have 8 first down plays for -3 yards, and total offense of just 5 yards in this game. The Gator defense has really thwarted State today.
Well, Dante Walker is able to get outside right there because Donald Lee has a handful of Bam Hartman's jersey, not allowing him to get off the block, and Walker bounces it outside for 6 yards.
And the Gators are playing Andre Davis at middle linebacker, Travis Carroll at weak linebacker to get the best run defenders in there. On second down, right up the middle, right through the inside backers and all the way to the 45-yard line. Todd Johnson makes the stop for the Gators, but back-to-back carries for Dante Walker pick up 18 yards.
And what you'll see here is you'll see all of the Gator defenders are on the ground. Chop blocks, you get everybody down. Walker runs through a couple of arm tackles as guys try to get back up, and it takes Todd Johnson, the free safety, to make the tackle. You got to keep your feet. You can't allow that offensive lineman to get to your feet if you're a defensive lineman.
Matkin throws back the screen the weak side, and no room at all. He got it to Darnell Jones, his running back, but the Gators had plenty of defense there. Travis Carroll was over there defensively for the Gators. Todd Johnson is also in the area as the play is stopped for very little gain.
Travis Carroll reads the play all the way, gets outside, right there, meet Jones at the line of scrimmage, making the tackle right there for a very short gain.
That bad possession for the Gators could give Mississippi State a little bit of a spark if they can drive the ball here. They've gotten 1 first down. Now they're looking at second down and about 9. They run right into the strength of the Gator defense. And a late flag comes flying in from Lower Cucamonga after Andre Davis had stopped the play for a loss of a yard.
Much better job by the Gator defense of turning it back inside that time, giving Walker a chance to come from his middle linebacker slot and right there meet him at the point of the line of scrimmage and make the tackle.
It would have been 3rd and 10. Instead, it's going to be about 2nd and 19 if they take it. The Gator coaching staff first signal take it, and then they seem to debate it for a second.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Yeah. So they'll take it and move them back 10, and we'll put the ball at the 36-yard line for Mississippi State as John Hoke's defense tries to get it back for the offense of the Gator head ball coach.
Well, you see Mississippi State starting to try and run the football. You take the penalty, you push it, you put them in a must-throw situation, or hopefully it will force them to try and throw the football. Mackin has not been that successful so far.
Gators with a lot of guys in the box. They just run right up the middle. Walker bounces outside, and Johnson gets him around the ankles, and Andre Davis and Bam Hardman and Travis Carroll all help out on the tackle. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 20 from the 35. So a loss of a yard on the play.
And here's another example of why Mississippi State wants to run the football. They have no confidence. Right here, it's 3rd and 18, 3rd and 19. They still hand the ball off to Walker, hoping that he can pop one. But the Gators do a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage.
You talked about penetration. That time it was Alex Brown, Tron Lefevre getting some penetration on the left side defensively for the Gators. 3rd down for the Bulldogs. Crowd making some noise here in the swamp. And the Gators are offside. Kennard Ellis jumped. Matkin with a free play. Ian Scott gets tackled at the 35-yard line. No call, and Matkin's run out of bounds. Ian Scott was absolutely dragged to the ground by Tommy Watson. The Gator coaching staff protesting, but they'll take the 5 yards and run another play from the 40, I'm sure.
Well, here's another example of Gator defenders trying to get a quick jump on the football, and Kennard Ellis jumps offside. Gators in perfect coverage. Mackin had nowhere to go with the football. They get a free play.
On the defense, 5
it'll be
yards from the previous spot.
Interesting to see if this costs Florida, as Mississippi State gets another chance to move the chains. Instead of it being 4th and 14, they'll get another chance on 3rd and 15 as we look at Ian Scott, the high character kid that young man is. Out of Gainesville High School. Just a sophomore, true sophomore, plugging the middle for the Gator defense. Florida comes with a blitz. Matkin in the open field throws. He's got his man dancing around and getting the first down and more is Justin Jenkins. as he gets the ball to the Florida 42. Scramble all the way down to the 40-yard line. But a soft zone coverage for the Gators, and the Bulldogs pick up 20.
Well, Larry, it might have looked like a zone, but the Gators actually came with a blitz. They brought Marquand Manuel, and what happens when you come with the blitz, if you don't get there, it's a clean pocket. There you see Mackin steps up. There's nobody in front of him, and you got man-to-man coverage. And there you see Justin Jenkins wide open, and then poor tackling by that Gator secondary.
They could have tackled him short of the first down, but couldn't get to him. Or couldn't make the play. They got to him. Dante Walker hit by Davis, dropped, might have gotten a yard.
What a difference having Andre Davis back this year, being able to step up and fill those holes as the defensive line gets a tie. As Walker tries to pop it through, he's right there making the hit. Here's another look at it. There you see good penetration by Tron LaFavor, forcing Walker to cut it back to the middle linebacker.
Backs in the eye behind Madkin on second down. Sweeping with Walker. The Gators string it out and drive it backwards. Great play by the Florida defense. Bam Hardman is the guy who really made it happen.
Well, Bam Hardman refused to let that play get outside of him. So not only did he turn it back in, but he pushed the blocker back into Walker. Now watch it. This is a quick pitch. This is designed to get outside. And there you see Bam Hardman destroy the blockers and make the tackle.
That's a nice combo for Bam Hardman, junior from over in Jacksonville. Ed White High School. And another 3rd and long. The Gators gave up a 3rd and 15 just moments ago. This time it's 3rd and 16. Madkin with all kinds of time against a 3-man rush will run with it, and he won't go far. Ian Scott Kennard Ellis made the stop after just a 3-yard gain. And we'll see if Jackie Sherrill will try to pin the Gators deep in their territory as the punt team comes in again, and the Florida defense gets a roar from the crowd.
Another good call by John Hope, the defensive coordinator, coming with a 3-man rush. You got Ian Scott sitting there in the center as a spy. There's nobody open field. When Mackin pulls it down, Scott comes off, makes the tackle.
You hear some of the fans chanting Lito, Lito. Lito Shepard at the 10 will not field it. Hits at the 8 and rolls into the end zone. So they cannot pin the Gators deep. The kick goes through the end zone, and the Gators back on offense, leading 21-0.
Not many people in healthcare admit that they spend most of their day with their heads in the clouds. I not only admit it, I'm proud of it. I fly for Florida Hospital, providing 150-mile-an-hour care in the air between 17 different hospital locations. We give all the hospitals in our system access to high-level specialists and some of the most advanced capabilities in the country. No, I'm not a surgeon, but I've saved lives with these blades. We call them the Wings of Hope.
Florida Hospital, the skill to heal, the spirit to care.
What is the essence of performance? Speed? Traction? Control? Or is it exceeding your own expectations? High performance, passenger, and truck tires. World-class quality and value. Kumho, way to go.
Bean crock. Just what do we mean when we say steak burger? Bean crock.
Just what do we mean when we say milkshake? Just kidding.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Bean crock.
Well, Gator Pride certainly starts early, and the Florida dairy farmers are looking for the most spirited young Gator fan. If you're between 8 and 12 years old and love cheering on the Gators, then you could be the winner. One lucky fan will win VIP treatment at a Gator game, including tickets, an all-access tour, a chance to meet Coach Spurrier, and much more. For information, go online at floridamilk.com or call 1-800-954-MILK. Show us your orange and blue, and you can win big with the Got Milk Junior Gator Spirit Contest. Down to the field and check in with Steve Babick. Steve, what you got?
You mentioned about Ian Scott being a great kid. He's also real smart, too. When Dante Walker had a couple runs looked at Ian Scott, and Ian Scott said, look at the board, look at the hole. They were looking at the Daktronics replay board. Ian Scott just pointed to that, and the guys were able to look up there and maybe get a little bit of a chuckle. But Gator Vision with that replay, and Ian Scott, sharp kid, just said, hey, we don't need to talk about it. Look, there's the hole. Let's do something about it.
There you go. That's a good way to break down game film. Just look up at the scoreboard between plays.
Yeah, it's just, hey, look what my opponents are trying to do. Here's what we do next play.
Gators will run it on first down. Gillespie inside, get about 3 yards before he's stopped by the Bulldog defense. TJ Mawhinney in there along with Mario Hagan. We've called Mario Hagan's name a lot, the defensive end from Clarksdale, Mississippi. He's just a junior.
But he's a good one.
Yeah, 6'3", 253. Got some players. Dorset Davis, Connor Stevens. Florida's done well to score 21 here early and looking for more. Grossman sets up, fires. He's got Gillespie at the 25, eludes a tackler, gets the first down and more as Robert Gillespie gets it up to the 37-yard line. And that is why he is one of the best receivers and out of the backfield in Gator history.
Well, that's because he does such a great job of running with the football after the catch. This is just a little ball out in the flat. Now watch him square up. He makes Morgan miss. Then he's going to make another guy miss. You know, there you see Wright misses. Right now he's brought down. And I tell you what, going back to those officials, I think they are tired because they didn't throw the piling on flag.
TJ Mawhinney ended up with the tackle for Mississippi State. The Gators on first down. Grossman pumps. He's got a wide open man. Caught by Gaffney down the sideline. Jabbar to the 15. Stumbles and he was out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So he again tried to make an acrobatic TD. He'll have to settle for a big gain and a first down inside the 15.
Now I can tell you exactly what's going through that young man's mind. Right now, he goes down the field. Good job by Rex Grossman. Pump fake, steps up, throws the football. He's wide open. He's saying to himself, I've got a touchdown. What do I have to do to get into the end zone? As Morgan comes over, knocks him out of bounds, and once again, he's held short of getting into the end zone.
The Gators do not want to be held short as they have 2 running backs in on first down from the 14. Maximum protection for Grossman. He's got a wide open man. Touchdown. Flag in the play. Gaffney's running a post route, and 2 Bulldogs had Gaffney all tied up, and Caldwell was all alone.
The thing you have to be careful about is that whether they come back and call this a pick play, as both guys came off on Gaffney and Caldwell came wide open.
Holding on the defense. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
For the fourth week in a row, Rex Grossman has at least 3 touchdown passes, and he's got Rashae Caldwell for the 2nd time today.
Well, when you're noted for scoring a lot of touchdowns like Jabbar Gaffney, everybody keeps going with you and leaving Rashae Caldwell by his lonesome.
Well, I love the adjustment Florida's made in the passing game, basically saying, you know, people are going after the first guy. They're going to run these delays and crosses, and it's open and wide open for the Florida passing game, up 28.
Having just one way to express yourself can be frustrating. That's why Cingular Wireless offers a range of airtime options. Choose 2 and create your own plan. Sign up now and get a deal on a cool Nokia. Cingular Wireless. What do you have to say?
Is your cartridge out of ink? Don't replace it. Refill it with the Universal Inkjet Refill System. It works with all inkjet printers or fax cartridges for only $5 per refill. Fill the injector with ink from the bottle and insert it into the cartridge. That's it. Place your cartridge back in your fax or printer. Universal works with any make, model, inkjet printer or fax.
I have a home business, and it used to be such a hassle for me to run out and get a replacement cartridge. Now I have the Universal Refill Kit. It's so easy and inexpensive, and it's there when I need it.
Order your refill kit for just $19.95 to refill your cartridge up to 4 times. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll get 50% more ink free. Enough for 6 cartridges, a $180 value for $19.95 when you do it yourself with our refill system. And ask about our Color Inkjet Refill Kit.
To order the Universal Inkjet Refill System, call 1-800-592-2100 or send a check or money order to the address listed.
Home to the Florida State Seminoles and first in Florida sports. Sunshine Network.
Well, if you've been waiting and waiting for a chance to get good seats at the Swamp, your wait is almost over. The renovations to the west side creating a great club seat opportunity for you, and you need to check it out because it's more than half sold out for opening day 2003. To order new club seats, check out 1-800-34-GATOR or go to GatorZone.com and get your seats. This is your last best opportunity to get good seats at the Swamp. Another sellout today here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Every game of the Spurrier era has been a sellout at home. Petrovic's kickoff fielded at the 1. Prather backs into the end zone, now comes out with it. Big Prather moving to the outsides to the 20, and then he runs into the Gator team meeting at the 22-yard line and falls ahead to about the 24. The Gators with 4 touchdowns, 3 TD passes from Rex Grossman.
And this is a defense that come into this ball game #1 versus the pass, and the Gators are just shredding it as Grossman has already thrown 3 touchdown passes here today.
Yeah, Rex Grossman, who has opened the season with 3 straight games of at least 3 touchdowns and at least 300 yards, already has his 3 touchdowns for game number 4 and has well over 200 yards here in the first half. Fred Reed is in at tailback for Mississippi State. They fake the draw. Madkin gets away from Alex Brown. Madkin on the right side, all kinds of room, still on his feet, and he'll dive forward to about the 33. Got about 9 yards on the play, but the Gators had a chance to make that a big minus play for the Bulldogs.
But Madkin is an athlete. He sees Alex Brown coming free on the blitz, or should I say on his blitz. And right there, once he steps around him, and then Alex doesn't have the speed to run with him, lays out, not able to come down with him. And then Madkin, seeing nobody open downfield, does the wise thing, tucks it under, turns upfield. The one thing you want to do with him is keep him in the pocket.
9 yards on the play to the 33-yard line. Inside 6 minutes to go until halftime. Inside they run with Reed. I don't think Reed got close to the first down. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll take a very generous spot to get him to the 34-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and about a foot and a half to go.
Well, interesting scenario, Larry. Coming into this ball game, the Gators are #2 in the SEC versus the run. Mississippi State is #1 versus the pass in the entire NCAA. What do the Gators do? They throw the ball every down. They threw it for 494 yards last year. They said, we don't care if they're #1, we're going to throw it today.
Well, the Gators don't try to throw on everybody. That is something we have learned, and usually successfully. On 3rd and short, they run an option. Reed has all kinds of company, and he's dragged down. Kennard Ellison defensively. Lito Shepherd closed in from the corner, and it's 4th down as the Gators drop the Tampa native for a loss.
Just a beautiful job by that Gator right side of the defense. They forced the pitch, and then watch Kennard Ellis get out in the play. As you see, a good job of destroying the blockers. Lito Shepherd turning him back to Ellis.
So Florida sniffed out the option. 3rd down and less than a yard, and they try running wide on a team with a lot more speed, and it didn't work. Todd Johnson very late sneaking onto the field from the Gator sideline, and Lito backs away from the ball. It hits at the 26, and it'll roll a long ways, and this will end up being a career best punt, I think, as it rolls all the way down to the 12-yard line. A 57-yarder for Mississippi State's Jared Cook. And the Gators will start deep in their own territory. 4:03 to play till halftime.
All I wanna do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You let me change lanes while I was driving in my car. All I wanna do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You let me change lanes driving in my car. Whoever you are, I wanna thank you. Whoever you are,
Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field on the campus of the University of Florida, along with Steve Babbitt and Nat Moore. Larry Vitale with you on Sunshine Network. The Gators facing 3rd and 2, and they come out 5 wide, and they do the wide out handoff to Rashay Caldwell. He's got a first down and more, dragged down by the helmet at the 28-yard line, but the Gators move the chains, taking advantage of that Mississippi State timeout.
Another super call by the head ball coach. A little trickery there. Put all your receivers out, got five receivers, and then run the quick handoff to the receiver coming in motion. And Rashay Caldwell is one of the better runners with the football. Picks up the first down.
And now let's see if the Gators open it up. 3 minutes to go until halftime. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. The Florida Gators will keep it on the ground. Graham's got yardage. He's got 5. He's got 10, almost 15, as he runs ahead close to the 41-yard line. Give him a gain of 12. First down for the Gators.
Well, the Gators had ran the football before this drive a total of 9 times, and they've ran it 4 times in succession as you get great movement right there. Good isolation block by Ray Snell Jr. And, of course, Graham pops through there free. Nobody touching him, and he's not used to seeing that versus Mississippi State.
Gators play action. Grossman going deep. Taylor Jacobs at the 15. Touchdown, Florida!
And Larry, this is what happens when you call timeout versus the Gators. Rashay, here you see Rex Grossman going back. And this time he's not going to Rashay Caldwell. It's Taylor Jacobs, who has caught a couple of long balls already this year, getting behind the defense, going in for the touchdown.
The 4th career touchdown for Taylor Jacobs, his 3rd this year. Jeff Chandler is 5 for 5, and the Florida Gators have raced out to a 35-0 lead.
You pick up a new Dodge, we'll pick up the interest. Now get 0 interest financing on new 2002 Dodge cars and trucks. And if you come in now, you can take advantage of no payments for 90 days. See your Dodge dealer today.
Well, here's another look at it as Rex Grossman throws a 59-yard strike to Taylor Jacobs as he gets behind the coverage. Good blocking by the offensive line as well as the backs, picking up, giving him a clean pocket so he can step up and launch the football.
How about a touchdown-interception ratio of 14-2? Rex Grossman so far this year. How about that? From the 34, State goes on offense. The little shovel pass juggled around, finally caught by Dante Walker, and he'll get about 5 or 6 yards. Marquand Manuel in there to make a stop defensively for the Florida Gators, and the Bulldogs will go with a hurry up to try to get on the board before halftime. At halftime, the Florida Gators have just dominated completely.
Well, we talked about dominating the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they have done, both offensively and defensively.
Atkin rolling right, still on his feet, and he'll be run out of bounds. Ian Scott, look at that 300-pounder running sideline to sideline.
And you know what I like about it? After he chased him all the way to the sideline, Larry, he says, you know, if I'm running this far, I'm going to hit something. I'm going to throw my body at somebody, even if I don't do anything but hit the ground. He's mirrored him all the way. Now watch when he gets to the sideline. He just throws his body at him, says, I got to hit something if I run that far. That's a lot of weight to carry across the field like that.
Ian Scott, valedictorian of his senior class in high school, played on a state championship basketball team.
He's an athlete.
Tells you he's a pretty darn good athlete. He boxes you out, you stay boxed out. Just like, Coach, I'll be back for rebounds later, okay? Jumping around, Florida may have been offside. Pass is complete inside the 50. Terrell Grindle, first time we've mentioned him, to the Florida 48-yard line. Now let's see if State did anything wrong, or was it just the Gators jumping offside for the 3rd time?
Well, looked like Alex Brown is going to get called for it.
On the defense, penalty will be declined. First down.
Minute 31 to play until halftime. 35-0 Gators, and Florida doesn't want to see State get on the board here.
No, you don't want to see them get on the board, but you cannot continually make little mistakes that allow them the free play as they had there.
Gators staying with a three-man rush, making the Bulldogs nickel and dime it. They weren't ready to snap when the ball was put in play, and they're going to use up about 12 seconds just getting the play off. Madkin steps up in the pocket, nowhere to run, throw, so he will run, and he'll meet several Gators around the 40-yard line. And now they'll try to get everybody back lined up, and they'll use their second timeout. So the Bulldogs call time at the Florida 41. It was a gain of 7 on the play. .107 to play until halftime. It is second down and about 3 for Mississippi State at the Florida 41. The Gators come with a blitz. Madkin in trouble, spins, and he's down. Great pressure from the Florida Gators. Gus Scott and Marquand Manuel in on the pressure. A loss of about 15. The Bulldogs out of timeout, so the clock continues to run.
Well, Larry, this is called anything you can do, we can do better, as the Gators come with their two safeties. Marquand Manuel and Gus Scott, the two leading tacklers on this Gator football team. The Bulldogs like to bring Birdsong and Prather. This time the Gators come with Manuel and Scott.
So now 3rd and long. Madkin throws a little outlet pass to Walker. He did not catch it. It's 4th down. So the Bulldogs had a good situation, but when Madkin had to use that last time out, they couldn't afford any negative plays.
Well, not only did Walker not catch it, but I don't think Walker wanted to catch it with his back turned to the defenders, knowing that he was going to get hit.
On 4th down, Florida does not look like they're even going to field the punt. They're going to play in their basic defense. See if Mississippi State, they haven't brought a punter in, so they're going to go for it on 4th and about 15 from their own 42. 28 seconds to go. Florida will go with just the 3-man rush. No blitzing, nobody offside. Madkin under pressure, down he goes at the 44. And the Gators have a chance to score in the last 23 seconds. Bobby McCray from Homestead with the quarterback sack.
And this, Larry, is just effort on Bobby McCray. He's isolated against the right tackle, Kendrick Fairchild, and he just outworks him, comes all the way around, and beats Alex Brown to the quarterback.
So Bobby McCray, 3rd-year sophomore, giving Florida the pressure from the outside. Let's see what the Gators do now, as they've got 23 seconds to work with and a couple of timeouts. Leading 35-0. They swing it out to Gillespie. Gillespie with blockers inside the 40. Robert Gillespie to the 35 and out of bounds right there. He got close to 1st down yardage, gain of about 9, and 15 seconds left, which is basically 2 more shots at the end zone or 1 play and a field goal.
Well, I sure hope we get another shot at this, and watch Robert Gillespie's feet on this screen pass. He gets out there, he's got blockers in front of him, he's got defenders flying around, and nobody ever touches him because watch his feet move. He's a little dancer out there. There you go, Prather on the ground, there's another one on the ground, and eventually steps out of bounds. Just great footwork by the running back, Robert Gillespie, keeping himself alive and then getting out of bounds, stopping the clock.
And they throw a middle screen. There's Gillespie again. He's got 5. Gillespie hit, spins forward, and will be dropped at the 27. The Gators will call timeout, and Jeff Chandler will get a shot at a 45-yard field goal at the end of this half, I believe. Yes, Steve Spurrier waves in the kicking unit, and they'll go for 3 more before intermission.
And another middle screen to Robert Gillespie. Larry, and I don't think all year long have we seen Robert Gillespie catch the ball in the open field and the first guy be able to bring him down. He will make that first guy miss 90% of the time.
But Gillespie had a great all-purpose day for the Gators yesterday, and he's been busy as a receiver so far today. That was Robert's 3rd catch for about 25 yards. And it'll be about a 44-yard field goal. Jeff Chandler, 10 yards shorter than his longest, so that won't be an issue at all. He's on the right hash mark. He'd probably rather be over there a little more, but that's not a real big deal. Brian Stone, the walk-on receiver out of Nashville, Tennessee, will be the holder. Chandler, for his Gator career, with 50 field goals, has 5 extra points today, and looks to add 3 more on this attempt with just 7 seconds remaining. Snap is good. Kick's got the leg, but he's pulled it to the left, and it'll be no good. There is a flag on the play. However, don't go away. Flag on the play. Let's see if the Bulldogs were offside. That's what the Gators are waving. They're waving in that direction. They're going to get another shot. That missed field goal does not count.
But isn't that typical? The game, the half will end the same way it started.
Offsides on the defense, 5 yards from the previous spot, and we will extend the quarter 1 play.
1 play.
And when you're getting beat already 35-0, there's no way that you give a team a second shot at a field goal.
That's why they should have punted on 4th down, because you don't want to give this offense another shot. I mean, come on, with Steve Spurrier, 23 seconds, that's a week.
That's a
you
lot
can do
of
a
time.
lot of stuff in 23 seconds. All right, so that miss does not count against Chandler's career record. We'll see if Jeff can take advantage of the mulligan. Bad snap, bad everything. Flags on the play. Probably false start on the Gators, in which I don't know if they still get it untimed, if the Bulldogs jumped or were they drawn.
Well, it looked like the Bulldogs jumped again, so they want to make this a extra point.
Dead ball, offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty. We will still extend 1 play.
There you see the entire left side of the defensive line, or special teams, shall I say, offside once again.
Keep in mind, Mississippi State beat Florida last year 47-35. Well, the Gators have their 35. The Bulldogs are just running about 47 points shy right now. And Jeff Chandler tries to add to that total, which is now a 33-yard field goal. So they've moved it 11 yards closer. Bulldogs back off this time. Good snap and hold, and this one's going to be wide right. So obviously the field goal gods had decided enough was enough. And Jeff Chandler does miss that attempt, and we are at halftime. After one of the most dominating performances you'll see in an SEC game, the Gators playing a ranked opponent in Mississippi State and dominating the contest with their receivers Gaffney, Caldwell, Jacobs, and quarterback Rex Grossman doing a great job. Back with our halftime here in the Swamp after this timeout. You're watching the Gators on Sunshine.
Your connection to the Gators is at GatorsZone.com, the official website of the Florida Gators. Get team rosters, bios, schedules, and statistics, plus audio and video highlights, and of course, the most up-to-date scores and stories on every Gator team. GatorsZone.com connects you to live broadcasts of every Gator football game, and you can follow every play of every home game with live streaming stats. You can even get game stats emailed to you instantly as soon as the game's over. Get in the Gator Zone today. GatorsZone.com, the official website of the Florida Gators, hosted by MPINet.
Enter your team today in the Sunshine Network Rivalry Weekend Golf Tournament. presented by Gainesville Ford Mitsubishi. Enjoy a day of golf at the Ironwood Golf Club, Saturday, November 17th. Compete for prizes including a $1 million hole-in-one contest. Also enjoy a cookout featuring a roundtable discussion with Sunshine Network announcers. You'll be done in plenty of time to tailgate before the big game. So call 800-605-2582 and sign up your team today. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Children's Miracle Network.
Let's take a look now at the Kumho Tires road ahead for the Florida Gators, and it'll be the LSU Tigers. Last year, the Gators dominated LSU here in the Swamp. Grossman to Jabbar Gaffney for a touchdown on the way to a 41-9 victory. LSU, a team that's nationally ranked this year, but they're going to have to get better on defense, hoping that they can find a combination to give them a chance against the Florida Gators. First on offense, it's Rohan Davey. Great athlete, hasn't been able to stay healthy for prolonged periods of his college career, but if he's healthy, he can do a lot of damage both with his feet and with his arm, as we see the touchdown pass last year. And defensively, one of the best linebackers in the SEC is Trev Falk. That's Florida and LSU next week in Baton Rouge, and that's our Kumho Tires road ahead. We are at halftime at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida Field in Gainesville, where the Gators are well on their way to their 4th victory of the season, leading Mississippi State 35-0 with Nat Moore, Larry Vittel with you. And Nat, against a nationally ranked SEC opponent, that's a pretty impressive first half.
Well, the defensive pitching a shutout. They've been able to stop the run and force Matkins to try and throw the football. And whenever he tried to throw the football, they've been able to get pressure on him. They've been able to do the thing that they need to do today to make sure that they shut him out.
And offensively, the Florida Gators threw for 494 last year. They're going for more this year. But let's check out our highlights, starting with that Gator D.
Good pressure by Ian Scott, and then you see Kennard Ellis coming off, Alex Brown all getting in on this sack as a meeting of the defensive line. And then the offense. Rex Grossman has had a great first half. Here he gives ground, and he finds his favorite target for today, Rashay Caldwell, coming underneath on a drag route as he goes about 20 yards for his first touchdown of the day. And then a great block, good block by Ernest Graham, doing a nice job of picking up the blitzer, and then Taylor Jacobs getting behind the defense as he beats Justin Griffin for the 60-yard touchdown pass.
And that was the 5th and final touchdown of the first half for the Florida Gators, who did miss a field goal, but other than that, it was almost flawless in the first 30 minutes, and the numbers will certainly bear it out as we take a look at a domination of almost 7-1 in total offense.
Just a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. We came into this ball game with a theme: control the line of scrimmage and you're going to win the ball game. The Gators, we thought they had to run the football. Well, they've run it a little bit, but they have shown that no matter who they play, they can flat throw the football.
So the Florida Gators, a dominant first half. The second half is just around the corner. Stay with us here on Sunshine.
Like a lot of people, we have some credit card debt. We always made our payments, but then the transmission went.
Another $1,200 on my credit card.
We didn't have a choice.
I had to get to work.
Our rent went up, and then Debbie needed braces.
We started getting calls from people looking for their money.
It wasn't just our credit rating that we were worried about.
It was our whole life. We got the help we needed from Cambridge Credit Counseling. They understood that we didn't want another loan.
We wanted to get out of debt.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a non-profit service. They'll work with you and your creditors to reduce your monthly payments. It's a fresh start.
Now we don't have to cringe
Hello?
every time the phone rings.
We have one simple monthly payment that we can handle.
And since we're paying promptly, we get money back from Cambridge every 6 months.
We can breathe again.
We feel good about ourselves.
Give Cambridge Credit Counseling a call. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
Let's go! If you've ever wondered what really goes on at the Jags training camp, then get ready. We'll take you on a day in the life from Coach Coughlin's point of view. Camp Coughlin, behind the scenes. Saturday at 7:30 on Sunshine.
Early on, the vision of the University of Florida was clear, and it continues today: to create opportunity, to enhance life, to prepare the next generation for their own challenges and discovery. From newborn to the elderly, the faculty and students at the University of Florida are working together to make our lives better. At the University of Florida, Our performance counts for you.
Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Darrell Armstrong, Horace Grant, and Patrick Ewing. Believe. Full season, half season, and 10-game ticket packages are now available. Call 407-89-MAGIC. Jeep Liberty, proud sponsor of the Magic Season Ticket Drive.
The Gators start off the second half at their own 17-yard line. The Florida offense with a huge first half will try to add to it. And there's Ernest Graham up the middle, still on his feet. Ernest Graham carrying defenders to the 30, a gain of 13 and a first down.
Coming out the back door, running behind Shannon Shell and Mike Pearson. Ernest Graham just dragging defenders as he picked up the first down. Josh Morgan finally makes the stop with help from Demetri Wright. Here's just good job of coming back behind the center, Zach Sedalis, Shannon Snell, and just continually keeping those legs moving. I thought he was going to pop that for the distance, Larry.
Well, he had a 50-yard TD. That took the distance. Mississippi State was offside. Graham up the middle, still fighting, gets about 2 or 3 yards, but I think the Gators will take the 5 instead. That 50-yard touchdown last week moved Ernest Graham ahead of TD Tommy Durrance with his 19th Gator rushing touchdown, and he'd like to get number 20 today as we move along. Gators will have a 1st and 5 at the 35-yard line. Let's check in with Steve Babick. Steve, what's up?
Larry and Nat, Steve Spurrier's halftime comments focused on 2 areas. First of all, the quarterback and Rex Grossman. He said Rex looks very sharp, making some good throws. Obviously, the receivers making good catches. Very complimentary of the defense, and he said, I hope they can pitch a shutout in the second half. Boy, would that be redemption from last year?
From 47 to a shutout in 1 year. It would be remarkable redemption for the Florida defense. On the draw play, Graham had a step to break it outside, but could not get all the way through the traffic. Mario Hagan in on the play, but I think Dorsett Davis might have slowed him up a little bit. He got 2 or 3 anyway. It'll be 2nd down and short for the Florida Gators. And kind of bummed. Steve's still down there wearing that cool new shirt, and we're still doing the coat and tie thing up top.
Well, I tell you what, I guarantee he's a little chilly down there today with that that shirt. Well, we're a little cold up here.
This is one of the coolest days in September history in Gainesville. High of 73, overcast, breezy, very pleasant. That play got all messed up. Graham might not have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Demetri Wright really disrupted the play coming in from his corner spot, and then his teammates kind of helped finish it off.
I think Birdsong ended up with the tackle, but that play just seemed to be a lot of confusion on the blocking scheme as you had offensive linemen stopping in the hole, which basically clogged it up for Graham.
Bad place to look for directions, isn't it?
Just, as they say, do something even if it's just getting out of the way.
Graham keeps his feet, gets the first down. Great effort from the junior out of Cape Coral as Ernest Graham takes it up to the 42-yard line.
And Larry, to show you what a tough runner Ernest Graham is, this is the 2 All-Americans that got a chance to make the tackle in the backfield. Pig Prather and Mario Haggins. And he runs through both of them, and it takes Connor Stevens coming from the other side to make the tackle.
Pig became Scrapple on that play from the 42-yard line. We promised to limit our meat references from this point forward. Gators look to go up top for the first time. Grossman fires. He's got his man. There's a first down for Jabbar Gaffney as he made the catch at about the 47-yard line of Mississippi State. A big day already for Jabbar. A big day for Rex Grossman, the sophomore quarterback out of Indiana, who started off this season with 3 consecutive 300-yard games.
And this is the same way that Rex started the ball game, looking for his favorite target. Jabbar Gaffney just runs a little curl route in front of Corey Banks. You know, easy pitch and catch there.
Mark it inside the 47 of the Bulldogs. Gators. Graham's going to look to throw. He's got Rashay Caldwell, and he's going to overthrow him. How about that? Ernest Graham overthrows Rashay Caldwell, who had beaten his man deep.
But it was a perfect and tight spiral as he just overthrew Rashay Caldwell. You know, And I guarantee you, all week long, Rashay Caldwell was telling him, just get back and throw it as far as you can because you can't overthrow me. And what does he do? He overshoots him. Now, if that had been a quack instead of a tight spiral, Caldwell would have been able to run under it.
Oh, well, it was fun while it lasted. 2nd down and 10 for the Gators as Grossman changes the play at the line of scrimmage. He'll go with the fade to Jabbar Gaffney, who's got it at the 37. Gain of about 10, very close to another Florida first down.
And I tell you, just a perfectly thrown ball, high and outside, and Wright, the defender, the cornerback, never looks for the ball. Gaffney locates the football, makes the catch, but Wright is running along stride for stride. It's almost like it's an underthrow where Gaffney just catches the football, moves the chains.
Jabbar Gaffney with his 9th career 100-yard game. Only one player in Gator history has more. He had 13, a man by the name of Carlos Alvarez. Jabbar may have that record by the end of the year. Grant cuts against the traffic, tries to go forward, get maybe a yard or two. It'll be 2nd and 8 around the 34-yard line. And this is the kind of drive Steve Spurrier really wanted to start the second half. A little bit of throwing, some success on the ground. Run down that clock, make sure Mississippi State doesn't get anything that'll give them momentum or excitement early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the thing you want to do is come out and basically dominate the 3rd quarter and force Mississippi State to say, hey, we got a game next week, and take the rest of the ball game off.
Florida sends all their receivers but one to the left side. Now Ben Troop comes over and sets on the right. Grossman pumps once, still on his feet. Now he'll throw deep, and he throws it out of the end zone. Timing all messed up by good pressure from Mississippi State as they had Dorset Davis barreling in there.
But a nice job by Rex Grossman of avoiding the sack, not giving up big yardage here. He pumps fake. Now watch him just duck right underneath the linebacker, Jason Clark, and then gets rid of the football as he throws it out of the end zone.
Credit to Ronald Fields, 93, also putting the pressure on there. Davis was actually pretty well handled by Ben Troop, the sophomore tight end. And so the Gators with that formation again on 3rd down at the 34. They've got to get about 8 yards, just shy of the 26 for a Florida first down. Grossman finds Gaffney. Nope. Throw wasn't there that time, and it's 4th down. And what do you do at the 34 if you're the Gators? It's awfully close to punt. It's a 51, 52-yard field goal if you try to kick it.
Well, Larry, this ball here, Jabbar Gaffney would like to have back because this is a catchable ball. If he catches this football, he comes out of the chute. He's got a touchdown. And the first thing he did after he missed the reception, he patted himself on the chest and said, "That was my fault, Rex."
Well, he'll be forgiven rather quickly, I suspect, and the Gators will talk over their options on 4th down.
Hey, Jimmy!
You'll scare them off.
Who?
That gator I'm hunting. He's outdoors season after season.
Hey, sounds like Osmos, the lumber with the lifetime warranty. Say, what kind of gator is this?
The elusive yellow-tailed gator.
Let me see that thing. There's no such thing, Jimmy, as a yellow tail gator. So remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
Everyday folks in your hometown come to Napa Auto Parts for the best parts in the parts business. Domestic or import, Napa has prices to fit any budget and parts to fit any car. So when the time comes to buy parts for your car, truck, van, or boat, come to Napa for the best parts, best service, and the best price.
Register to win a Steve Spurrier autographed football at participating Napa stores. No purchase necessary. See store for details.
Napa, over 200,000 parts, and everyone's important.
To you, it's a PC, but to your kids, it's a laboratory, a museum, or a rainforest. The compact Presario 5000T with Intel Pentium 4 processor. It'll give your child the power to explore a world of ideas. And it's just $8.99. To buy now, call 1-800-332-1878 and get free shipping on your PC, plus double your memory for free. Hey, why just take your kids to school when you can take them farther than they ever dreamed?
This game is brought to you in part by Great Southern Wood, makers of Osmos pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. By Papa John's Pizza, the official pizza sponsor of the Florida Gators. And by Citgo SuperGuard, the right oil for the way you drive. Yeah, the Florida Gators scored first, and they kept on scoring. Grossman ran one in and threw 4 touchdown passes in the first half. And now the Florida Gators here in the swamp, trying to add to their advantage. Have a 4th down and about 8 at the 34-yard line. Matt, you have a head just like that, don't you?
Yeah, that was the one my grandfather willed to me.
Still in the box?
Still in the box.
Let's see what the Gators throw on 4th and 8 from the 34. Bulldogs sneak another man up there. They got one coming clean. They'll throw for Troop, incomplete. Grossman under tremendous pressure from Tommy Kelly. And that play just had no shot from the get-go, and so the Gators turn it over on downs, and Mississippi State will go on offense.
Well, they come with pressure right up the middle. Tommy Kelly comes free, and Grossman, as the Gators try to go back to the well with the crossing route to Ben Troop, is not able to step up and throw the football, so the ball falls short. The Gators had been 7 of 7 until that 4th down on 4th down conversion, so you can see why Steve Spurrier had so much confidence and was willing to go for it.
Now the Gator defense pitching a shutout goes back out on the field.
At Steak and Shake, we're open from sunrise to sunrise.
You can't have a steak burger without crispy edges. You can't get crispy edges unless you sear them on a hotter grill. You can't sear them on a hotter grill until you master grilling. You can't master grilling until you use the steak cuts. And without steak cuts, you can't have the steak burger.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Beancock.
Do you dread washing your car? The soap and the rubbing and scrubbing and reaching? There's a better way with the Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System. The incredible new system with the soft touch of a brushless wash and the sheer force of a power sprayer. Simply add car wash concentrate, turn on the hose, and let the Simonized Soft Touch Power Pad do all the dirty work without damaging your car's finish. The Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System is only $19.95, and it's only from Simonized, America's most trusted name in car care products since 1911. Order now and we'll include the long arm extension for those hard-to-reach areas, truck beds, even the RV. And you'll get the bug and tire brush for wheels, headlights, grills, and other projects around the home. And as an added double bonus, we'll include Simonized Car Wash Concentrate and the amazing Surge Sprayer that turns any garden hose into a high-pressure wash. The entire system of $50 value is yours for just $19.95. Satisfaction guaranteed. Operators are standing by. Order the Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System. Call now.
When Florida sports fans want to get in the game, they go to SunshineNetwork.com. Up to the minute insight on all your favorite teams, stats, scores, and a whole lot more. SunshineNetwork.com.
Rex Grossman, the Florida sophomore quarterback, has done something Danny couldn't do. Shane never did it. Spurrier, John Reeves, the list goes on and on. The first Gator ever with 4 consecutive 300-yard games.
And that's a lot of credit to that offensive line of giving him pass protection and the receivers getting open and catching the football.
From the 22-yard line, the Gators will run wide with Gillespie. Robert Gillespie has to let a couple Bulldogs run by him, and he's popped after a gain of a yard or 2. Khalil Nash in there defensively, along with Jason Clark.
Jason Clark now lined up in the middle linebacker position for T.J. Mulhenny, is making himself known, flying around, making tackles. He was the guy that Rex Grossman had to dodge on that bomb he threw away.
Nearing the 8-minute mark to go in the 3rd quarter. Florida took almost 5 minutes off the clock on their first possession. Oh, a little strong, and there's a, oh, what a cheap shot. 15 yards against Josh Morgan. The pass for Ben Troop, overthrown by about 10 or 15 yards, and the Bulldog safety just took a cheap shot and leveled the Florida tight end, and it's going to cost him 15.
Now, there's just no place in football for that, especially when a guy is unprotected, running down through the middle of the field. and you're getting drilled already 35-0, all you do is really hurt your team after a good defensive play.
Joe Lee Dunn, the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, hasn't seen many teams do against his defense what the Gators have done. Even last year when Florida scored 35, 2 touchdowns were late. They couldn't run the ball a lick. And they got 6 quarterback sacks on Grossman and others because Florida played 3 different QBs in the game. It's a dramatically different performance against the Joe Lee Dunn defense today for Florida.
A year ago, we were hearing the cowbells and we were hearing that song, Who Let the Dogs Out? Today, the dogs are in the house.
Today, it's who knocked the dogs out. So far, the Florida Gators have done that. 35-0 as we near the midway point in the 3rd quarter after a short 2-yard run to the left side for the Gator offense. So Mississippi State still keeping a lot of guys around the line despite Florida throwing for well over 300 yards. And as long as they do that, I think you're going to see Florida put the ball back up in the air some more.
Well, it's just tough to run against a 7-8 man front. So if you get that many men in the box, you try and pick it up or try and get the ball out to your receivers in a hurry. And go ahead and throw the football.
Grossman with time throws for Gaffney. Gaffney at the 45. Jabbar ahead almost to the 40. We'll give him the 41-yard line and another Florida first down from 141 to the other, a gain of 18.
Another great job by that offensive line of controlling the line of scrimmage. There you see Hagan, good block by Roberts. No white shirt in the picture till after the release of the football. And then here you see Gaffney catching the ball, turning back upfield as Wright. Demetric Wright is finally able to bring him down.
Demetric Wright's been called on to do a lot in this ball game. Florida shifts Graham out wide right. Grossman looking deep down the middle. He throws high, and there's another guy laid out. That time it's Caldwell hit by Corey Banks on a pass that was overthrown by about 10 or 15. If they hadn't called the other, they would have called that.
And believe it or not, Larry, that one probably was worse because he measures him all the way. Ball's gone, and he hits him right under the chin, and then it ended up being a no call. But right there, I mean, there's just no way you don't call that. And as you say, probably because they called the first one, they decided not to call the second one.
Well, it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 41-yard line, and you certainly don't want to see this game deteriorate into a cheap shot contest, but I think Mississippi State's taken a couple of liberties on this possession. We'll see what happens next. 6:48 to play in the 3rd. The Gators up 35 and driving here in the Swamp. And the play clock runs out. Rex Grossman, you would think quarterback, they know where the play clock is. Isn't that the first thing you look at?
Well, sometimes you get so engrossed in looking at the defense, trying to get a glimpse of the defense, a pre-snap read, that you forget to look up at the play clock until it's too late.
So it'll cost the Gators 5. And the Gators check Matt Jackson into the lineup. Jabbar Gaffney's decided he's had enough of huddles. He's just not going to be in there anymore. Gaffney was way outside the huddle, and he was about to call a substitution violation, but he can't because Gaffney wasn't in the huddle. Oh boy, they're all coming, and wide open Gillespie. Robert Gillespie to the 35, stumbles down to the 34-yard line. Mississippi State almost got Grossman, and yet it ends up being another 10-yard gain.
Well, I tell you what, going after Rex Grossman that time, it looked like a jailbreak as they brought the entire team, and Grossman alertly just gets depth and just throws the ball up, just gets rid of it. And then who catches it? Robert Gillespie, finding the open slot, making the catch, and then turning upfield, picking up additional yardage.
Rex Grossman has had maybe his best game making something out of nothing. He's on several occasions, he's backed up, stayed patient, and waited till he had a chance to get a guy the ball. And as a result, a huge game, and he's on his way very possibly to a career best. 1 second, they just do get the play off. Another fade to Gaffney. That one-on-one matchup, Florida loves it. And Gaffney's out at the 25-yard line, and poor Demetric Wright.
Well, I tell you what, you know, Rex comes up to the line of scrimmage. Larry looks out there, he says, "Hey, Jabbar, let's play some catch." You know, a little one-on-one here, a little jump ball. You know,
they don't even need the hand signal. They just got to yell, "Fade route."
Yeah, he hadn't found the ball yet on a fade route, so, you know, we need 3 yards. We'll throw a fade.
And the ball's at the 25-yard line. So the Florida Gators up by 35 points. Still with the first guys in. If they can score here, I think we might see Brock Berlin and some others. Ernest Graham to the 20. Ernest Graham fights ahead close to first down yardage at the 16. Going to be a little shy. It'll be 2nd and inches.
What a good job of bouncing it outside. You know, this was a little draw. You think you'll go right up the middle, but good block by Mike Pearson of pushing the defensive end down inside and then letting Graham find his hole to run to.
Well, a lot of opportunities for a play caller on 2nd down and a foot. They'll give the ball to Rob Roberts. Yeah, right. Grossman down the middle. Troop touchdown. Ben Troop with his first career TD.
Well, Larry, this is a new offense indeed. I mean, what is the world coming to? 2 tight ends have caught touchdown passes here today. Aaron Walker earlier, and now Ben Troop making the catch over the middle of the field and taking the punishment to score the touchdown.
And Jeff Chandler perfect on the extra points. He has made all 6 of them. And the Florida Gator route continues in the swamp on Rex Grossman's 5th touchdown pass.
Gene therapy is the idea of using genes, literally the genes and the pieces of DNA, to treat patients' diseases.
The approach we're using to treat patients with inherited disease is to take a normal gene that patient might be missing, put this gene back into cells in a way that repairs those cells.
This is the beginning, where heart transplants might have been 30 years ago. That's where we are with gene therapy now.
In a Toyota Tundra, you'll experience the power of a truck with the most V8 torque in its class. You'll experience the off-road stability of a truck with the most ground clearance in its class. And there's one thing you'll hopefully never experience. The best crash test results of any large pickup ever tested by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. And right now, the Tundra is available with 0.9% APR financing or up to $1,500 cash back. The Toyota Tundra at your Toyota dealer.
Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Darrell Armstrong, Horace Grant, and Patrick Ewing. Believe. Full season, half season, and 10-game ticket packages are now available. Call 407-89-MAGIC. Jeep Liberty, proud sponsor of the Magic Season Ticket Drive.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. It ensures instant contact. Bridget.
Got it.
Cost a fraction of cellular. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready now.
Obsolete.
Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio feature that lets you get right through. Nextel, the official wireless telecommunications sponsor of the NHL.
Let's do it.
These guys don't look so tough.
Heads up.
I got your back. On your left.
Go, go, go.
I'm hot, baby.
Time to go for a spin.
Gatorade, bring your game to life.
I'll take the big guy.
Which big guy?
This game is brought to you in part by Singular Wireless. What do you have to say? By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by Kumho Tires, world-class quality and value. Kumho, way to go. Be sure to get in the game. You can get your Gator Gold Card now, and that will let you see UF volleyball, women's basketball, and gymnastics all year long for just $50. Call 1-800-34-GATOR and order your Gator Gold Card today. Well, it's been mostly overcast today, but I'll tell you one thing, it's been a very brilliant performance by the Florida Gators. 42-0 early in the fourth quarter against Mississippi State. And there's a flag Boy, after a timeout to have another substitution violation.
Substitution infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
12 guys still on the field. Ben Troop didn't come out. Here comes Ben Troop. Head ball coach saying, Ben, you're not in that formation.
But Coach, I just caught a touchdown, Coach. Put me in.
I'm ready. Run that streak route again. I'll run over that safety. Brian Hagerbrook has checked in for the Florida Gators. I see Jonathan Colon in at left tackle. Florida gets some other guys some playing time. Run a little delay option type of thing to Gillespie. Robert Gillespie to the 40 up to about the 42. He got the 5-yard penalty and maybe 3 more before he was tackled by Tommy Kelly.
A little misdirection where you just pitch the ball out to Gillespie one-on-one, but good blocking by Carlos Perez out there on Sean Birdsong, not allowing him to get into the play as Gillespie picks up about 7-8 yards.
There you see Jonathan Colon and Benny Mills, the left side of the offensive line for the Florida Gators. Benny Mills going back home to Louisiana next week. His younger brother's a heck of a player. Taylor Jacobs gets around the first man who had a shot, Tommy Kelly, and then goes forward very close to a first down at about the 49-yard line. He looks to be about a length of the football shy. He's a little shy of the 49. The ball does have to cross it.
Well, Larry,
look at number 62.
Well, there is just no substitution for speed, as you see right there. You see Taylor Jacobs turns on the afterburners, runs by Tommy Kelly, and then just runs over Morgan. You know, he's just, what the heck, he's only a free safety. I could run over him, and he just drops his head and runs right through him.
And here's big Jonathan Colon out of Miami Central. Mills in there. Got Mo Mitchell on the right side with David Curley. Mo Mitchell, right tackle, number 61, Curley 64. On third and very short for the Gators. Berlin will toss it. There's Gillespie. He's got the first down and maybe another yard or so to the 49 of Mississippi State. Move the chains, keep the clock running as the Florida Gators commanding control of this game continues.
Well, one of the things that happens, everybody talks about the Gators trying to run up the score, but when you got 8-9 men up on the line of scrimmage, sometimes you have to throw the football. That time the Gators stayed with the run, was able to run it up in there and pick up the first down because it was only 3rd and inches, Larry.
And Brock Berlin needs to throw. Obviously, he needs work as well. He completed one pass and then missed on a couple of touchdown opportunities. Berlin changes the play with 4 seconds, just changed the direction of it. Under pressure, Berlin fires for Carlos Perez at the 30-yard line.
Oh, boy, it must be nice to be young and have a good, strong arm like a Brock Berlin, because as he comes out, he feels the pressure. You know, he's looking to go to his left, but then he sees the pressure, and then he just lines this ball into Carlos Perez as Perez turns Richard Ball completely around and makes the diving catch.
Gators have a chance to hit 600 yards in total offense today. They're well over 500 and a long way to still go in this contest, and they'll keep running plays to try to move the football. They're not going to stop doing that, nor should they. On first down, Berlin sets up, fires for Gillespie, incomplete. Had a man in his face, and crowd groans a little as Matt Jackson took a shot back in the secondary as well. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 29. One thing I'm pretty sure of is Florida won't try any more field goals. 0 for 3, although only 2 of them count, but
0 for how many?
0 for 3.
Well, he had 3 on
well, they didn't kick the second try because they jumped before they even snapped it.
Okay. Okay.
Wide left, wide right, and right into the wide bottom of the guy who snapped it. On second down, Berlin sets up, good protection. Kelvin Kite batted away by Morgan. It'll be 3rd down. Nice coverage from Josh Morgan, a junior from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
And that's a play where as Kelvin Kite plays more, he'll start to understand feeling the pressure of the defensive back, because right here he's got the defensive back. He knows he doesn't have him beat. Now the ball's coming. See, now you come back to the football. You don't keep running, because then you allow the safety to undercut the football, which is what happened there.
We'll get a look at Kite. Kelvin's caught 4 passes so far this year. And on third down, the Bulldogs are coming again, and Berlin throws, misfires. He had Kite running a hook, and he was looking for a curl, and he was looking for an out or something, but miscommunication. It's fourth down. And I'm wrong. They are going to try another field goal. If at third you don't succeed.
And also, part of coaching is you never know when you need that field goal to win the game or a tie ball game, so you want to build Jeff Chandler's confidence back up.
Yeah, you want Jeff to have something good happen. You want, you know, your holder and your snapper and everyone. You want one to be executed. The Gators have had 3 field goal tries, 2 of them count, and all 3 have missed. Chandler, this one, not a pretty kick, but it gets through. And they don't get style points from the Russian judge, but they don't need them. They get 3 points instead, and Florida extends its lead to 45-0 with 12:02 still to play.
What if you put the best SUVs in the world all in one place? Let's see, you'd have the Toyota RAV4, Toyota Highlander, Toyota Sequoia, and the king of rugged, Toyota 4Runner. Proving it responds to the call of the wild and the call for safety, the 4Runner received the highest possible ranking in government side impact crash tests. And now 4Runner also comes with added protection for your wallet. $1,500 cash back. The Toyota 4Runner at your Toyota dealer.
In 1971, we started with a small wood preserving plant. It's hard to believe. But our #1 goal has always been to be the best. My daddy always said, if you're ripe, you're rotten. If you're green, you're still growing. Great Southern Wood, still growing after 30 years.
The new collection is a triumph, just dripping with vibrant flair. And I love the reinterpretation of the front and back color covers from sassy to sublime. Custom ringtones strike a retro chord.
Right now, Cingular is giving you twice as much. Buy this hit new Nokia and get another one free. Plus, ask about our unlimited nights and weekend plans. Cingular Wireless, what do you have to say?
The play of the game is brought to you by Steak 'n Shake, famous for steak burgers. And for a play of the game, let's look at that defense domination.
Just total domination all day by the defense as Kennard Ellis forces Wayne Matkins to take a grounding penalty where he doesn't even look for a receiver. He just gets rid of the football. That defensive line have dominated play all day.
Ellis has been strong. Alex Brown doesn't have the sacks. Might have gotten credit for half a sack. But Ian Scott and Tron Lefevre at defensive tackle. If you'd have told John Hoke going in that they would own the middle, John Hoke would have been a very confident coach. And those 2 guys really have owned the middle along with and that has allowed Andre Davis, Travis Carroll, and others to play well.
I mean, an entire defensive line has played exceptionally well. You've got 6 guys that have played well today. Kennard Ellis, Darrell Lee, Bobby McCray, you name them all. Just a superb job by this defensive front 4. Or should I say front 6?
Front bunch. It's the front bunch. It's the Gator men instead of the Baja men for this year's Florida-Mississippi State game. And the Bulldogs at the 17. And the Gators have some more reserves getting a chance for some playing time now as Matt Farrier has checked in. Daryl Dixon is in a safety spot. Arpej Roll, number 65 at defensive tackle, playing on the nose. The Gators have also gotten Major Parker in at the left defensive end, number 95. And more guys, I'm sure, will be getting their chance for some playing time. Parker rushed Fant. Fant got rid of it, and Reed made Manuel miss and goes forward for about 8 yards. Carroll ends up helping out on the tackle.
Well, Marquand is not going to like looking at the film as Reed faked him out of his jock there. Good job by Mr. Major Parker getting in, getting some action today. Right there forcing the quick throw by Fant as he was in the backfield.
And now it's up to some of these guys to protect. Bobby McCray's still in. McCray, a backup defensive end, but already has 2 sacks today. He certainly played like a starter. He's lined up at the right end right now. Gators come off the ball hard. Fant throws incomplete. Around midfield, trying to get the ball to Clarence Parker, and plenty of Gator defense there, including Todd Johnson. There is a flag on the play. Well, ineligible receiver. They sent a guy who was covered from the line of scrimmage downfield. The Gators will probably ignore, I would think ignore that one, but we'll have to just wait and see. Well, the player of the game is sometimes tough, not so tough today. The player of the game brought to you by Checkers. Checkers, you gotta eat. And Rex Grossman feasted on the Bulldog defense.
Just superb pinpoint passing all day as he got the ball to his receivers, did a nice job of throwing it up and over, as you see right there, hitting Taylor Jacobs on a 60-yard touchdown. And then all day long, just good decision making by Rex Grossman, your player of the game.
Look at the numbers. A career best 393, matches his career best with 5 touchdowns. Also ran for a score and did not get picked.
0 interceptions. That's the good number.
Fant throws out on the wing. He's got Reed. Flag on the play again. And Reed is dropped at the 26-yard line. And we'll see what that is. It was thrown as soon as the man started downfield. So if the Bulldogs covered up another receiver, there's also one at the line of scrimmage. So one on the far side as well. So we'll check it out, see what happens next. 10:51 to go, 45-0, the Florida Gators on top. This is a rival. When you talk about Florida and Mississippi State, you usually talk about very physical games. State is known to be extremely physical. The Gators had lined up offside. And you know, the Gators are used to really battling with Mississippi State, but it hasn't been that physical from the Dogs today.
5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
Well, Larry, when you're playing at home, one of the first things you want to do is take control of the football, and the Gators did that from the opening snap.
Well, the Gators are too shy of the most they've ever scored against Mississippi State, and this is by far the most one-sided game. Still time to go. This game could get a whole lot closer. 34-0 in 1978. The Gators' biggest win over Mississippi State. And the interesting thing was that in that 1978 game is the only game I attended as a UF student.
You mean you did go to school?
I actually paid for a ticket.
Oh, you paid for a ticket. Now that's a first.
Oh, shut up.
And probably a last.
Yes, it is. Started working the board for the local station on the Gator Radio Network, WRUF, the very next game, and that's the last time I went to a game as a student.
Anything to keep from having to pay for it the next time.
Well, either pay or get paid. It was an easy choice. Nice pass there in between the Gator coverage. Ray Bivens gets popped, but he gets the catch up to the 48-yard line and a Bulldog first down.
Harold Dixon coming over from his free safety slot and really putting a good hit on Bivens as he catches the football.
That is the 7th first down for Mississippi State today. 23 more and they'll match the Gators in that category. 9:45 to play in the Swamp. Bulldogs battling for pride now, trying to get on the scoreboard. The Gator defense thinking the same thing. They'd take a lot of pride if they could put the shutout on the board. Fant handles a low snap, looking over the middle, fires in and out of the hands. He had an open man, but Aaron Lumpkin, the big tight end, couldn't pull it in. Matt Ferrier was right there.
Well, sometimes when you're not able to hang on to the football, it's because of the people that you sort of sense or feel around, you know. In the NFL, they call that hearing footsteps.
So now it's 2nd and 10. What crowd remains trying to exhort the Florida defense. Gators still not putting many guys in the rush. Under pressure, Ellis throws. It's a jump ball just thrown into traffic and falls incomplete. Kennard Ellis with a tremendous rush on Kevin Fant, and he just threw it in there hoping it would get through. It ended up falling incomplete.
Well, Ellis gets a chance to come very close to getting the sack because what they're trying to set up is a screen out to the left side. But Alex Brown senses it as he starts on his rush, and then watch him get back out there, and Reed is not open, and Fant is forced to just throw the football to avoid the sack. Came very close to being picked off by Daryl Dixon.
Mark the ball, 3rd and 10 at the 48-yard line. Fant over the middle, complete to his tight end this time, and it's a first down as Lumpkin gets it down to the Florida 41-yard line before he's tackled by Ferrier. So the Bulldogs move the chains again as they get closer to putting something on the board in the fourth quarter of this game, a game Mississippi State really needed, having lost their first SEC game to South Carolina, a very close one. And they needed this one, otherwise they start out 0-2 in the league.
And they come in here as the best defense against the pass, and you know, you also have to think that who did they play against as far as that threw the football earlier in the year?
There's a late flag thrown in as an offensive lineman, Tommy Watson, dove over the pile to throw a block on Scott. I don't know if that's the flag. There was an earlier flag at the snap thrown by the field judge on the near side on the 1st and 10 play. 8:34 to play in the contest. Let's sort it all out.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Face mask on the defense. The penalty's offset. We will replay the down.
All right, so the only thing that changed was 28 seconds ran off the clock. Gators next week, as we told you, go to Baton Rouge to play LSU, and then it's off to Auburn the following week. A week off, and then Georgia. And of course, the stretch run, South Carolina, Florida State, and Tennessee.
And LSU's got a big game tonight with the boys from Tennessee.
They throw the wide receiver screen right through the hands of Ray Bivens, and another cheap shot leveled by Mississippi State, and this incompetent crew does not throw a flag. It's right in front of the side judge. And he just got flattened long after the play.
And that's really how the game gets out of hand when the officials understand that Mississippi State's getting blown out, but right here, this play is over, and he's hit in the back. And no call with the official standing right next to him. All of a sudden, you got tempers flaring, and you got a free fall.
And there's the man who decided to swallow his flag. And again, you hope it doesn't escalate. We saw the two cheap shots earlier in the first half, and nothing happened from that. Fant throws over the middle, picked off. The first interception of the year for the Gators. It's Matt Farrior, and Farrior gets it to the 41-yard line.
Well, this is starting to get ugly, Larry, as after the interception, there was a lot of fisticuffs and guys going after each other out on the field, taking some cheap shots. Another great job by Kennard Ellis of forcing Fant to throw the football where he does not want to throw it, and Matt Farrior steps in front of Parker, comes up with the interception, giving the Gators first down.
So with 7:59 to play, the Florida defense rises up again to preserve the shutout. And we've got timeout here in the swamp. The Gators impressive of 45.
Time now for the Mercedes-Benz Florida Golf Tip. If you've ever been accused of having too steep an angle of attack in the golf swing, be sure to check what you're doing with your hip set. At address, make sure that the right hip is lower than the left, the same angle as the shoulders. Be sure to watch the Mercedes-Benz Florida Golf Scene on Sunshine Network.
We waved hankies, put on fins, and sang that song. Call it crazy, we call it tradition. Miami Dolphins, the tradition continues. Join the winningest team in NFL history. Become a proud Miami Dolphins season ticket holder and join the crowd. Dolphins football is back. Call now, 1-888-FINS-TICKS.
Not many people in healthcare admit that they spend most of their day with their heads in the clouds. I not only admit it, I'm proud of it. I fly for Florida Hospital, providing 150-mile-an-hour care in the air between 17 different hospital locations. We give all the hospitals in our system access to high-level specialists and some of the most advanced capabilities in the country. No, I'm not a surgeon, but I've saved lives with these blades. We call them the Wings of Hope.
Florida Hospital, the skill to heal, the spirit to care.
Steak and Jake Genuine Chili is served in a variety of ways. This one has chili, spaghetti, extra chili beef, special sauce, chopped onions, cheddar, and Monterey Jack cheese, which is why we call it a five-way.
Steak 'n Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Call 1-800-468-5995. Regardless of your credit, in minutes, join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called AmeriDebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-468-5995. 1-800-468-5995. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
Okay, I'll give you some props, Mississippi State. You beat us last year. Those days are over. You're coming to the Swamp. We're going to win the game. Hey, we're not tearing our goalpost down. We're going to go on to the next week. Go Gators.
Breakfast with the Gators, Sunday at 8 on Sunshine.
Coming up next on Sunshine Network, stay tuned for the Coaches Show block. It all starts with Dave Wanstead and Tom Coughlin talking NFL. Then it's Florida football highlights with Steve Spurrier and Mick Hubert and the Bobby Bowden Show. The Coaches Show block next right here on Sunshine Network. John Hoke, Ricky Hundley, Jerry Odom, all smiles on the Florida sideline. Tremendous performance. Mississippi State under 150 yards of total offense. The Gators over 550. 45-0 the score. Berlin out of the shotgun. Puts Brian Hagebrook in motion. Back to throw, fires over the middle. There's Taylor Jacobs, and Taylor Jacobs across midfield to the 44 of the Bulldogs as he picks up about 15.
And the Gators come out, run maximum protection, run a three-man route. Only people coming out is Taylor Jacobs and Brian Hagebrook. Good job of finding the seam in the zone, sitting down, waiting on the football to be delivered by Brock Berlin by Taylor Jacobs.
And they'll keep throwing. Under pressure, drops it off to the tight end Troop, and Troop is double teamed and dropped at the 43. Might have gained a yard. Morgan is there defensively along with Richard Ball.
Well, I would think by now, after seeing that route about 6 times, you would eventually get it right, as Josh Morgan does on the crossing route by Ben Troop, that particular play.
Second down, 6:45 to play. Rand Carthon's got running room to the outside. Carthon to the 35, runs over a tackler and gets a Florida first down. Inside the 34 of Mississippi State, not the 33-yard line.
I think that was Pig Prather that came up to trying to stop Carthon, but Carthon just runs right through the All-American candidate. You know, one thing about Rand Carthon, when he comes in the ball game, he's not running out of bounds. He's looking for some contact, Larry.
He's a very physical youngster. Well, clock running again. They said he was down before he went out of bounds, which is a joke. But I think the officials want this thing over, too. Berlin sets up and fires for the corner. Kelvin Kite incomplete. And it's second down.
Brock gets a little pressure as Jolie Dunn comes with the blitz. You see Rand Carthon trying to pick up the blitzer, but gets hit just as he releases the football. But a better throw, as that time he threw it up and over, gave Kelvin Kite a chance to make the play, but he was being held once again right in front of the official, and no flag.
They can hold all they want. They just don't want to see the real physical stuff escalate. That's the concern you have when you see one side taking those kind of shots. Swings it out. There's Carthon. Carthon inside the 30, down to the 24-yard line. Going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
Now, this is what happens when you've been sitting on the sideline, Larry, you know, watching the game, seeing everybody else have a great time. Here's Rand Carthon. Now, this is a screen pass. He's going to catch the ball. His offensive line, Zach Zadelis, or should I say David Jorgensen, hustling, trying to get out in front of him. He said, man, I ain't got time to wait on you. I'm trying to get some yardage here today.
I've got the ball,
yeah.
and I've got to go. We'll catch you guys next time. But you're right, that's tough for a young player who doesn't get a lot of snaps. Carthon hit at the line, short of the line, dropped right at the 25. It'll be 4th and 2. And I would imagine the Gators will keep going as the clock winds down. 5 minutes, 20 seconds and running to play in this contest. Jeff Chandler wants to go back out there, but that's not going to happen.
Jeff wants to go and work on his average.
There you go. Why not? Chandler 1 for 3 today. Came in out with better than 80% for his Gator career. Berlin watching the play clock down inside 10 seconds. Game clock inside 5 minutes. Under pressure, Berlin makes a man miss, and before he falls down, throws incomplete for Kelvin Kite. Brock did a nice job to sidestep the blitzing defender, Eugene Liger, but then just kind of lost his balance and couldn't get it back. Otherwise, the Gators could have made a big play out of it. Instead, the Bulldogs will get another shot to try to do something on offense as they try to break the shutout. 4:39 to play. It's all Gators on Sunshine.
What is the essence of performance? Speed? Traction? Control? Or is it exceeding your own expectations? High performance, passenger, and truck tires. World-class quality and value. Kumho, way to go.
Do you dread washing your car? The soap and the rubbing and scrubbing and reaching? There's a better way with the Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System. The incredible new system with the soft touch of a brushless wash and the sheer force of a power sprayer. Simply add car wash concentrate, turn on the hose, and let the Simonized Soft Touch Power Pad do all the dirty work without damaging your car's finish. The Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System is only $19.95, and it's only from Simonized, America's most trusted name in car care products since 1911. Order now and we'll include the long arm extension for those hard-to-reach areas, truck beds, even the RV. And you'll get the bug and tire brush for wheels, headlights, grills, and other projects around the home. And as an added double bonus, we'll include Simonized Car Wash Concentrate and the amazing Surge Sprayer that turns any garden hose into a high-pressure wash. The entire system of $50 value is yours for just $19.95. Satisfaction guaranteed. Operators are standing by. Order the Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System. Call now.
Bowl yourself in. The Islanders tip off the season stranded in Tampa Bay territory. Bolt yourself in. Coverage begins Friday at 7 with Sunshine Network Live.
Well, the next time the Florida Gators play in the Swamp, it'll be homecoming. That means Gator Growl and parades, and it means the annual Homecoming Alumni Barbecue at the O'Connell Center 2.5 hours prior to the Florida Vandy game, which means probably around 10 or 10:30. We hope to see you in the O-Dome at the Homecoming Barbecue, sponsored by the UF Alumni Association and Florida Blue Key. From the 25, the Bulldogs. Fant back to throw, has time, throws incomplete. And there you see another incident, and now Florida retaliates after repeated cheap shots and a Florida player getting mauled, and then foolishly a Gator defender retaliates, and it looks like it'll be 15. Major Parker, I think, the guilty party as they talk it over. But Major Parker was getting rolled on the ground by a Mississippi State offensive lineman that got up and then pushed back.
Personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
And Major Parker will get a seat on the, or a spot on the sidelines after that. Let's check in with Steve Babick on the field. Babs?
Well, here in the second half, I've been scoreboard watching, not so much for what Florida has scored, but what for Mississippi State has not scored. The last time the Gators have pitched the shutout in an SEC game, 1996, Florida 65, Kentucky, zip. Back to you, Larry.
All right, we'll see if they can hold on for this one, although that 15 yards certainly doesn't help the cause for trying to get that shutout. Fant throws left side, incomplete, lunging for it, off balance, Clarence Parker. And it falls incomplete, and after being lectured, Major Parker goes back in. Kennard Ellis went in for one play. They'd probably told Kennard he was done, and then they changed their mind. Florida's playing a lot of guys. There just aren't that many to play when you're trying to hold out some young players. You've got some injuries. Travis Harris having had shoulder surgery. This would be great playing time for him. Haven't seen much of Reed Fleming, but they're not playing with a middle linebacker, which is probably why that young player hasn't gotten in there yet.
Well, Reed's just came into the ball game.
See? Keep looking, you find almost anything. On second down, under pressure, Fant steps in. He's got a few yards, and then he's got some company. And Fleming gets a chance to deliver a blow at about the 48. So a 7 or 8 yard pickup. It'll be third down for the Bulldogs as the clock runs down to the 4-minute mark.
Well, one thing you got to learn as a quarterback is that when the big linebackers are coming, Larry, you get down, you slide, you do anything but take them on head to head, because you're going to lose that battle, as Fant did on that particular play.
Gators with Parker and Bobby McCray as the defensive end. Brian Savalio is the man on the nose. At 3:45 to play, third down and about 3. Fant throws complete inside the Florida 40 down to the 36. Antonio Hargrove, a redshirt freshman, with the catch, and moves the chains for the Bulldogs with 3:32 to play.
Gators have went strictly to a 3-man rush, so they're not getting much pressure on Fant. They're trying to cover with 8 and get to the quarterback with 3. So that's creating some time for Fant to throw the football.
From the 36. Little delay, and Reed left the ball behind him. Fred Reed falls on it. It's from Tampa King High School. And it's second down and 10, 3:06 to play, and this is probably the last chance for the Bulldogs, although you wonder if they'll use timeouts if Florida gets the ball back. Jackie Sherrill, obviously you want to keep coaching. You emphasize that whole 60-minute thing. You should be trying like the devil to get some points on the board, but you would also like to see him tell his guys to calm down with some of the after-play fisticuffs, and maybe not fisticuffs, but roughhousing that's been going on.
Because it'll come back to haunt you in the long run. You know, the one thing you don't want to happen, when your guys out there taking cheap shots, and all of a sudden somebody takes a cheap shot on one of your guys, and you lose a player for the rest of the year.
Well, it's third down from the 36-yard line. Steve Spurrier about to go 83-12 in SEC games as the coach of the Gators.
Phenomenal.
If you win 2/3 of your games, that's pretty good. He'd have to lose 30 in a row. He'd still be winning 2/3. Fant under pressure, just threw it into the ground. He had a running back, Reed, but I don't think they were trying to set up a screen. I think that's just what they ended up with as Gus Scott and Eminem came charging in.
Well, they were trying to set up the screen, really, but Kennard Ellis was right there, and once again, those two safeties, you know, they show you just how good the Florida safeties are. Watch the two safeties come into your picture. Gus Scott, Marquand Manuel, as they're trying to run a little screen to Reed, and Kennard Ellis snuffs it out.
So they'll go for it on fourth down, trying to get something on the scoreboard. The crowd, what's left of it, making some noise here in the Swamp. They want that 0 to stay there. Fant under pressure throws, and it's juggled and caught at the 28, short of a first down, and the Gator defense is held. And now the field judge comes in and says the ball was never caught by Terrell Grindle, the top receiver for Mississippi State. He had all of 1 catch today. And now the Gators will try to run out the last 2:44 on the clock.
And you saw what John Hope done as they started to move the ball further downfield. He was playing that prevent defense. Then he says, you know what? Well, it's time for us to come after you guys. He brought the safeties twice in a row, and they weren't able to pick up the first down, taking the ball away.
2:44 to play in the fourth quarter here in the Swamp. The Florida Gators still up 45-0 over Mississippi State. It's been all Gators today in the Swamp. 3 first-quarter touchdowns, 2 more in the second. Only a couple of missed field goals, darkening the effort a little. Berlin throws deep for Matt Jackson, and Matt Jackson's tackled at the 20-yard line, and that'll be a 15-yard penalty. I think this is how Steve is responding to some of the hits his guys have been taking. Okay, you want to hit? We'll throw deep.
Yeah, well, and the other thing, you know, Brock Berlin has not had a great day, and you're still trying to bring him along, so you run your plays. These are some of the things that you want to be able to hit during the course of the year, and right there, Banks just reaches out and grabs Matt Jackson as he gets by him.
Berlin had to stand up to another fierce rush.
But a nice job of stepping up, throwing the football as he gets hit by Kelly on the release, which might have been the reason that the ball came up just a tad short. He wasn't able to finish his follow-through.
Gators need a couple of first downs to run out the clock if that's what they were inclined to do, unless Mississippi State chose to call timeouts, and we don't know if they will choose to do so or not. With Carlos Perez in motion, Berlin sets up, fires over the middle to Perez inside the 30, down to the 23-yard line. So Carlos Perez, who had only 2 catches this season, makes his second catch of the day.
And most people are wondering, how come you're not running the football? Well, you throw the football, that's what you do. And here you see Perez running a crossing route as he beats Richard Ball on a square end.
So Perez having a nice day, as most of the Florida receiving corps is having a nice day. 8 different Florida receivers today have caught passes. The Gator offense has gone over 600 yards against this Mississippi State defense. Berlin with the delay thrown out there to Kirk Wells, incomplete. Well defended for Mississippi State as Wells had company out there in the flat. It's second down, 1:52 to play. And the Gators getting ready to go 4-0 on the year. Dwayne Dixon, Florida's receivers coach, he and Buddy Tevens working with the Florida receiving corps. Of course, the tight ends part of the group that Buddy handles, and they have certainly stepped up this year. A couple touchdowns today. I think about 15 catches for the tight ends for the Gators this season, 15 or 16.
And that's early in the year. Normally, if they get 15 or 16 for the whole year, it was a great year for the tight ends.
Berlin sets up, throws the post, touchdown, Kelvin Kite.
Well, Larry, when you put 7, 8 men in the box, as you look at Jackie Sherrill, knowing that they've been thoroughly beaten here today, that you leave those speedy receivers one-on-one as Kelvin Kite comes wide open as he beats Richard Ball for the touchdown.
And for Brock Berlin, his 4th touchdown of the year. For Kelvin Kite, his 1st career touchdown. Chandler with the extra point, and the Gators add some more. 52-0. Florida destroying Mississippi State.
The classified ad said, must be willing to travel. I haven't even interviewed yet. My mom's requesting 6 calls a day confirming I'm alive. My girlfriend's partial to X's and O's. That's text kissing. My dad's like, boy, how you gonna follow the team if you're flying all over the place? I'm like, everybody, chill. AT&T Wireless lets me tailor my wireless plan so that my life can revolve around you. It's wireless that fits, unlike my suit.
AT&T Wireless, your world close at hand.
When Discount Auto Parts hired me as a spokesperson, I figured they wanted me to help drive their sales. But with over 700 stores and thousands of parts in each one, that ain't all I'm driving.
Come on, Martin, let's go. Move it, move it.
Discount Auto Parts, the right part, right away.
Stop by Discount Auto Parts and get Valvoline motor oil for only $1.19 per quart, or pick up 2 Purolator oil filters for just $5.
We don't doubt the billions. It's the served part we have trouble with.
When you see a number in front of a burger at a fast food place, it means that they're supposed to sell it to you before the big hand hits that number, or throw it away. So, depending on how closely they watch the clock, you either end up with your dinner or their garbage.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
This game has been brought to you in part by Checkers. You gotta eat. By the University Center Hotel, unique Gainesville tradition. And by Discount Auto Parts. Discount Auto Parts is a proud sponsor of the Florida Gators. Well, Petrovich has gotten a lot of practice today kicking off, and Mississippi State's Ray Bivens says, I want to run it back, so he gets dropped at the 6 by Bam Hardman. And let's see if Mississippi State wants to throw the ball around, or they just want to take 3 snaps and go home. Look at John Hoke and Brock Berlin getting a touchdown pass in this ball game as the Gators.
And here you say, you're catching the ball 5 or 6 yards in the backfield. Why would you bring this football out at that point in time? You know, right now, Mississippi State, this entire fourth quarter, has not played with very much smarts. Here you see the touchdown as the free safety is out of the middle of the field. Kelvin Kite runs a post. There's no free safety, no help in the middle of the field. Touchdown.
Fant is going to throw out of the end zone. He's got a man. His tight end at about the 12-yard line. Pickup of maybe 5 or 6 yards. Aaron Lumpkin dropped by Matt Farrier. Less than a minute and a half to play. The Florida Gators have certainly made a statement today. For those who questioned the early schedule, I think Marshall's a pretty good football team. Kentucky lost today to Ole Miss in a very competitive game. Florida beat Kentucky by 34 in Lexington. And now they've come up against a nationally ranked Mississippi State team and just absolutely destroyed them. Fant rolling right, he'll keep it. He's got 5, and he'll be run out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Reed Fleming makes the tackle, but Fant's got about 8 and a first down with 55 seconds to play.
And a smart play by Kevin Fant as he comes around that right side, just going ahead, getting the first down and getting out of bounds. No need of taking any unnecessary punishment at this point in the ballgame.
Mississippi State has now 10 first downs. The Florida Gators with 7 touchdowns. There's Reed on the draw. Reed's got 5. Reed's moving his legs up to about the 29-yard line. We'll give him 9 on the play. And we get closer to the end of this ball game as the Gator defense makes the stop shy of first down yardage. And Mississippi State will only have to run one more play. We'll see what they choose to do as the ball is put into play with about 30 seconds on the game clock. Well, Florida's had some impressive performances through the years, but Nat, it's hard to find a more impressive one than this one today.
Well, to take a team that is supposed to be so good against the pass and throw for well over 400 yards throwing the football, and then to come in and just totally shut out their running game by this defense. What a fantastic job by John Hoke and his staff.
As Steve mentioned, Florida's last SEC shutout was against Kentucky, but this is much more meaningful. So the Bulldogs out of the shotgun with 15 seconds to play. Florida's got 8 DBs moving way back. Fant drops it off again to Reed. Reed will have a first down as he goes up to midfield. And with 5 seconds to play, the clock will stop. with 3 seconds now, and they can get a playoff real quick if they absolutely want to. We'll see what the Bulldogs do. They do have 2 timeouts remaining to take a shot at the end zone if avoiding the shutout is that important to them, but it is not. The clock will wind down, and in front of another sellout here in the Swamp, the Florida Gator football team, in one of its most impressive performances wire to wire, has shut out Mississippi State by a score of 52-0. The Gators started early on a run by Rex Grossman. They finished it in style. Ben True caught a touchdown. Aaron Walker caught a touchdown, and the crowd in the Swamp was thrilled. The Florida defense was outstanding. Oh, the Bulldogs had a play or two here or there, but it was the Gators' day in the Swamp. 52-0 the final. That's going to do it for us here on Sunshine Network. For Nat Moore, Steve Babick, our producer Jerry Wetzel, our director Jimmy Lee Starling, I'm Larry Vitale. See you next week.
Bolt yourself in for the Lightning 10th Anniversary 10-pack, just $79. That's 10 games for the price of 8. The Happy Blooming era begins. Don't miss it. Call 813-301-6600. Lightning Hockey. Bolt yourself in.
SunshineNetwork.com is your web source for all your favorite team merchandise. Just log on and go to SunshineNetwork.com to find the Fan Shop, an internet superstore stocked with over 5,000 different products, including team gear from all your favorite Florida teams and more. One click of the mouse and voila, you've sent the perfect gift to the doorstep of your favorite fan. This season, get in the spirit and go get them. Team gear merchandise at SunshineNetwork.com, powered by Football Fanatics.
Enter your team today in the Sunshine Network Rivalry Weekend Golf Tournament, presented by Gainesville Ford Mitsubishi. Enjoy a day of golf at the Ironwood Golf Club, Saturday, November 17th. Compete for prizes including a $1 million hole-in-one contest. Also enjoy a cookout featuring a roundtable discussion with Sunshine Network announcers. You'll be done in plenty of time to tailgate before the big game. So call 800-605-2582 and sign up your team today. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Children's Miracle Network.